Welcome back, nerd friends, to this episode 55 of the Nerd Chills podcast.
Woo, 55!
I am Charlie, sitting in the first chair because everything has shuffled around and women run the world and we can do anything.
Girls!
Sitting in our second chair is Adam. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing well tonight, Charlie. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, ladies.
Thank you for being here. In our third chair, we have Robin. How's it going, Robin?
Good. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming back.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, CJ couldn't be here. He asked me to let you guys know that. He loves you, but he'll be back next week. So, there's that.
Whatever, CJ.
Fine be that way, CJ.
Oh, fuck.
We know you don't love us. Basically. He just didn't want to come up with his answer to the main topic this week, which is going to be the games that we'd like to see revised. Or revived.
Revived. There's a lot of
revised. That would be great.
Next week. We'll do revised games.
But that came because of the news article we're going to get to about Fable. We have some Fable news. But anyways.
I'd just like to point out, one of us here predicted in their bold predictions of
Holy
2018
shit. That was creepy.
that Fable would be making a comeback and would probably be shown at E3, and then 5 days later, that person was right.
I just, I read that article and then I threw my phone and I was like, demons!
Demons! Not today, Satan!
Oh my god.
The person was me, since I know Robin didn't listen to the last episode because she wasn't on
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we did bold predictions, and Adam has already gotten one of his bold predictions, and it was like...
How many did you guys do? 3?
I did 4.
I don't know. I did a bunch.
You did a bunch. I think CJ did 3 or 4.
His were extra bold. We told you about that, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the $94 million
Oh,
Switch
the Wii
sales.
sale,
Yeah. We'll see how the production works on that, but fingers crossed. Go for it, Nintendo.
Yeah, dream big. You know, they have they have a lot of goals there. They're building new things.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, too.
Anyways,
Lazy bastards.
Adam is going to take over our Microsoft news.
Do
Adam,
you want to do what we've been
Oh,
playing?
of course. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I completely ruined it. Oh, God.
You're just skipping the crappy segments. No one wants to hear about
This
us.
is the coffee episode.
Yeah,
Well.
I am jacked up on coffee.
Well, we'll go with minorities first.
Oh,
Adam.
shit.
I was going to be like, I'm the minority all around in this
Yes,
room right
I was
now.
going to say, you're
Yeah, but
super minority.
You're part majority.
You're like...
Am I, though?
You're a little cappuccino.
I'm Latino.
I was going to
Thank
say,
you.
he's Hispanic and...
So what does that make you? Hot chocolate?
Well, I don't know.
I'm half
How have
Puerto
you guys
Rican,
not established
quarter
this yet?
white, quarter Spanish. That's what I am. All I know is you're Asian, Charlie's white,
So I'm 100%
and you're both women,
minority.
and you run the world. Girls.
Yeah.
So,
Anywho,
yeah.
we're just going to start with Adam.
So this
Oh
week
my
I've been
God.
playing Fortnite. I played that a little bit. Became in the top 10 every time I played, but I never won. And most of the games I didn't even fucking kill anyone because I couldn't find anyone. I just fell to the ground and died at some point of congenital heart failure.
Genital heart failure.
And my friend Lee was like, "Hey, are you on? Are you off today?" And I was on. It was Saturday. It was yesterday. And I was like, "Actually, I am off today because our schedules never sync up." So we got online, talked a little bit, caught up. He's like, "Do you want to play Halo 5?" I was like, not really, but we can play it. And we started playing it. We did Warzone, which I haven't really done. When I used to play Halo 5, it was just like the normal stuff. And turns out Warzone is fucking sweet. So we played for like 4 hours. It was a fucking blast. I loved it. Aside from that, I've played nothing but Clash Royale on my phone, which I'm still doing fucking awesome at. So
Jesus.
very
So
happy with
dedicated.
it. I know. I probably played that more than anything else.
You're going to run that
realistically.
clan soon.
I know. They
He
promoted me
already-
to co-leader.
Yeah, he's co-leader.
I
You're
have
gonna-
not spoken a word in the chat, and they promoted me to co-leader because of how much I play.
That's hilarious.
They're
They're
like, this 12-year-old man has no time.
Right.
Like, no
He must
like,
be a
school
kid.
or anything. Like, oh,
32-year-old man sitting at home, just like, yep, take lots of shits. Get ready for this, guys. So yeah, that's about it for me.
cool.
Nice.
Robin, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Overcooked with my sister.
I so wanted to play with you guys last week.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, I want to play so bad. Every time I meet like anybody, I'm like, play Overcooked with me, and then it never works out. They're like,
You
I don't
guys-
do
We'll
things
play.
fast.
That'd
You
be
played
really
head-to-head
fun.
for the first time, right?
Yeah, I beat the shit out
I
of
was gonna say, did you beat the shit out of
her.
her?
Yeah.
You better beat the shit out of her.
It's just like, it's so fun. It's really hard playing like by yourself.
Playing
like, two
alone is
people.
awful.
Oh my goodness!
It's
like,
the similar way that you have to control the game, where you
Oh
have
my
like to control
God,
both of them,
no
but
thanks.
you're just cooking against someone else who's doing the same thing.
right.
Awful. That's I can't do that.
Apparently, when you play that way, you can have both chefs chop at the same time.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, you
is
can.
fucking crazy.
As long as you can bounce back and forth between them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, is like remembering what that person's doing and then getting over there fast enough. Like most of the time, you're like, okay, I'm gonna have you chop, and then 10 minutes later, you realize they haven't been doing anything because you forgot to
Right.
go back to them. You're just running around.
They're like, easy money. It's the easiest job I've ever had. I cut an onion today.
I was doing it a little bit like single player, and I got to the level where there's like the 3 cars that you have to like bounce between, and I was like, nope, nope.
No.
It's like no one's getting soup today. That's for sure.
No 3-star for this
That's
level.
so funny. Yeah, that's I've been playing that pretty much. That's it.
Just overcooked.
Yeah, just overcooked.
Right on.
My brain's a little overcooked.
I hate you so much.
Wait. We played stuff today though.
Oh yeah.
We played a lot of stuff
We
today.
did play a lot of
We
stuff
played
today,
Codenames.
which is fun.
Pretty fun. I liked
Yeah.
that game.
Codenames is, for those of you listening, a tabletop game with cards, which is like password, but each word is in a 5x5 grid. So you have 25 words on the table. You have 2 teams. One person is giving clues, and it's one word that will let someone know which letters or which words they basically need to pick up. And there's like 6 or 7 or 8 grand total, so whichever team gets all their words first wins. But there's also one word that's like the doom word, and if you take it, you lose. So you're trying to like give hints like, okay, like border twice. So there could be 2 words that like represent what border could be that are like synonyms,
Yeah.
but you're trying to avoid whatever might steer someone towards like the
Yeah.
death word.
I think that's what I love about that game, is that you can link up multiple words. I
Mm-hmm.
find that so interesting, like trying to do it and try to like get inside people's heads and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
I thought
Word
it-
games. Not
Well,
good.
we won with
We
your
did.
leadership.
Yeah. We did really well
That
when we
last
played
game?
together too.
Ugh.
Our last
You
game.
got it.
Yeah, our last game I was giving clues, and like the 2 people that were taking my clues like were not like, they started out like
Idiots.
perfectly. The first one I did, I was like, this for 3, and they picked the first 3 right off the top of their heads, and they were right. And then they overthought it to the fucking like max, and they picked the first one, which was right, and then the second one was like so far off the beaten path. I'm like, we're fucked. Like, we're never gonna win this.
I love being the other judge, like seeing where it's at and then just being like, oh, like, oh, it's so wrong. Where did it go wrong?
Your team is so stupid. What's wrong with you people?
And then we played. You guys played before I got there. Unspeakable Words.
Yes, we played
Did you
Unspeakable
like
Words.
that
It's
game?
like that Cthulhu word game. It's
Yeah.
so cute. It's such a cute game.
So you hold 7 cards, right?
7
Yeah.
cards, and then you make words with your cards, and each letter has a score. And you add all those letters together, and then that score you have to beat with a roll by a d20.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can like you have to get to 100 points, but if you go high, you have to get that many or more points on the dice, which is hard.
It's like each
Yeah.
card has a letter. Each letter has a point value represented on it, and then whatever your word's total is like your difficulty check for your d20.
Yeah.
And if you roll under it, you like lose part of your sanity, and you have 5 pieces of sanity. So you can only fuck that up so many times. So having huge words isn't the greatest thing. We had someone
Adam
get, like,
botched like 4 times.
that's not true at all.
Wow.
I only failed 3 times.
You
But every time
suck.
I failed, I botched. But we had someone try and do like a 26-letter word, and
Oh,
we're like,
yeah.
you literally can't do that.
Well, I don't know. Wade said that if it's a 26 letter, but you roll a 20, then you've done it.
Yeah,
I was
20
like,
is
okay.
instant success. So,
I'd be like, roll twice.
and then it wound up happening where he would have played a big word, and we're like, that's stupid. So he played a small word, rolled, and he would have succeeded and
Yeah.
won the
We
game.
held him back.
Yeah, and then he wound up losing the game because of it.
We fucked him up.
Sorry about that, bro.
Yep. Then we played Gloom.
Gloom is really
I
fucking
really need
fun.
to buy
Oh my
all
god.
those games. They're so
So,
fun.
for those of you who are fans of Magic the Gathering, Gloom reminds me a lot of it, where you basically start with like 4 creatures, and the entire point of the game is to debuff your creatures as hard as you fucking can, and then kill them. And then the amount of debuff you gave them turns into points.
And you want to
So-
go negative.
Yeah, you want to go negative in like your hit points essentially, but you can also boost creatures, so you do that to other people.
the cutest part of it though is like you want to make their lives as depressing as possible, and then people are like, here's a little happiness in your life, and you're like, get your fucking happiness off
Yeah,
me.
it's like your person got married, plus 20 to their lives, and you're like, fuck you!
Damn it.
Like, I just gave them gangrene!
So yeah, those were all the games we played today.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Other than all that, I've been playing Horizon. So much Horizon. I'm almost done.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
Which
you
is,
are going to beat me.
I'm going to beat a game, which is crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The person who's been watching me play was like, oh, that's going to be crazy because last year you beat like one game all year, and this year you've already almost beaten a game.
20 days in.
I've just been playing it a lot. Like my last day off, I put like 8 hours into it. And I totally like turned a corner in the game because I realized, I'll help you a little bit. You probably know these things because you've played a lot of games before. But Horizon is probably the only game that I've played in a while where you actually buy weapons.
Yeah, I remember you saying this to me
Yeah.
off air, I think.
So it's actually a good thing to buy weapons. I'm used to earning weapons.
Waiting for quest lines or building them
Exactly. So there's no quest lines or anything where you buy weapons or where you get weapons. You have to buy them and find the
crazy.
material to craft them sort of via the purchase. It's weird.
or whatever. Right.
But anyway, so if you don't buy weapons, you're going to be super fucked.
Good to know.
And then what I didn't do was, for some reason, I just completely ignored the fact that I could upgrade my pouches. So last week I spent like a whole 5 hours hunting. I feel so bad. I feel like I was like, there's going to be
Exterminated the animal life in the
there's
world.
going to be an endangered
no.
species list in Horizon Zero Dawn.
They have to create a whole organization just to stop you.
I went
That's Horizon Zero Dawn 2, actually.
right.
The stopping of Charlie.
Aloy must be stopped. But anyway, so because you have to collect animal bones and skin to like build more pouches. So now I maxed out all my pouches. I can carry like 1,000,000 arrows and stuff. It made things so much better. So do that stuff.
Good call.
And
Hint to everybody trying to play this game
Yes.
right now.
Right.
there's one other thing I was gonna say, but yeah, I just feel like that really changed a lot for me.
That reminded me, I started up but didn't really play too much Witcher 3.
Oh,
Because I have the 4K update. And after I played Halo, I was like, well, that looked fucking incredible. Let's see what Witcher 3 looks like with a 4K update running in 60 frames per second. And it looks amazing. I was like sitting there like, man, I love this TV. So happy with that pick. And then I was like riding around and I saw wolves, like a pack of wolves. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a really high level. I forgot I've played this game a lot. And I rode into them and I forgot how difficult mounted combat is in that game. And they were just ripping me to shreds. My horse kicked me off of it. And I'm just like trying to spam buttons like, what do I do?
every man for himself.
And then I found my fire spell and I just set them all on fire. And I was like, that's better. And then as soon as I was standing there, I tried to like run up a hill and I got stuck on a seam. And I was just like, I want to play Zelda. God damn you, Witcher, you've been ruined. I kept like on the horse, like hitting left trigger. Like, where the fuck is my bow? And I'm like, oh wait, there's no bow in this game. This is so dumb.
I was reading stuff online because I was trying to get animal skin, and I couldn't. Like, it's a rare drop, and so I was like killing everything and still not getting anything. So I looked it up online, and they were like, you should melee. Like, some people theorize that if you melee the animals, you have a higher chance of skin. And I was like, have you ever tried to melee? Like, Aloy is pretty slow when it comes to melee. Have you ever tried to melee a fucking bunny? Like, it's pretty difficult.
There's that one guy, like, I have punched many a bunny in the face before.
Because she just has, like, a spear, and she's really slow. And there's, like, no upgrades to the spear, which sucks.
That does really suck.
But yeah, later, I was leaving for
Just,
work,
like,
like,
imagining her just fucking punching this bunny.
Take
like-
that, you stupid bunny.
I wish I could punch them. You have to, like, get your spear out, like, ah. When I left my house the next day, I saw a real bunny, and I was like, I feel so bad.
Oh,
I killed
no.
so many bunnies.
I thought you were going to be like, I saw a real bunny, and my first
Like,
instinct was to kill
die.
it.
No, I was like, you're so cute. I'm so sorry.
Right on.
But yeah, I haven't really been. I haven't gave up Animal Crossing for a little while.
Wow.
Shocking. You've broken the addiction. Must be why you're shaking so violently right
Never gonna hit level 60.
now. Aw, you will. We all believe in you.
I hope so. Anywho,
So,
reverse order. What we've been watching.
what have you been watching, Charlie?
Oh man.
That was like super creepy.
I don't think I watched like anything this week. I watched Forensic Files. And
All that murder.
watched that video of that guy pretending to take off glasses.
I love that
That
video.
was
It's just,
so
it's like, it
good.
looks like, oh my god.
He like does
Someone
it with
needs
both
to-
hands.
Yeah, someone needs to Photoshop.
It's like a politician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's talking and he acts like he's taking off glasses that he's not
He's
wearing.
like-
And he places them down.
Yeah, he was like on the counter.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
That's so goddamn funny. I told you offline but like I had a teacher once used to lick her thumb before she touched any piece of paper. And one of my friends in high school was like, I'm pretty sure I saw her lick her thumb and then take her glasses off. I'm like, that is fucking hilarious.
I sympathize with her. I feel like that's something I would do. Like, I'm just so... It's like when you answer the phone at work, like it's your home phone or vice versa. Like,
Do you lick your thumb and then answer the phone?
No. It's just like habit, you know?
Thank you for calling GameStop. The more you trade, the more you save.
I will reflexively
painful.
put my eyeglasses up like they're sunglasses, thinking it'll help me see better. And then I'm like, this doesn't work.
Like,
I gotta.
oops.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
There's so many of those moments I have where I'm just like, I really hope no one saw that.
But yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Right on.
Anyways, Robin, what have you been watching?
The only thing I've really been watching is. Oh, no. Okay, so we've been watching True Blood, and then I've been watching the Korean version of The Good Doctor.
Oh, I was
like
hoping
the
you'd say
OG
True Blood.
version.
Right? That'd be hilarious.
Yeah,
That'd
no,
be
because we've been
great.
watching the American Good Doctor, and it's based off of the Korean one.
Good
so I was like,
American
oh,
Doctor.
I'll watch the Korean one.
The American Good Doctor.
It's so depressing. I'm just like, oh, why am I watching this a second time through?
I will say David Shore has done a really good job of transitioning it
Oh,
to
yeah.
America.
Oh, yeah, it's a really good American transition. And then I ordered like 20 volumes of manga, so I've been going through that too.
She reads while watching subtitled shows, and I'm like, I could punch you right now for how redundant this shit is. She's like, well, I kind of know what's going on because I've already seen these.
Well, no, not the Good Doctor one. Oh, well, technically, yes.
Yeah, because we've watched the American one,
Yeah.
so we kind of know the storyline. It's different, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot more screaming and people hitting people.
The doctors yell and hit each other and shit, and like in
And
the
there's a
American one, like one guy grabbed another guy by his shirt and he was fired. Like
Wow.
the next scene.
Yeah, and then in this one, like, the doctor punched this autistic kid, and I'm like, fuck!
Take that, you derpy asshole! I'm just like, what is wrong with this show? They're so fucking mean to the dude. It's insane.
Yeah. And no one got fired.
Well,
I don't know.
things are different there.
Right?
Different culture.
Very, very different.
Anyways, Adam, what have you been watching?
Robin kind of covered it. I haven't really been watching a whole lot of TV, but we did decide that we were going to pick up a show because we're kind of in like that show hole where we don't really have
We
one to
still
watch.
have a lot we need to finish. We just move on, and
Yeah, pick up something new.
because we got like halfway through Big Bang and then left
We're
it.
like halfway through the final season of Big Bang. We're on the third disc of season 10 of what we have. We caught up on Lucifer. We're already caught up on that, so it's like we can't go any further.
And we're caught up on the Good Doctor.
We have a Top Chef to watch, which I totally forgot about.
Ooh,
But yeah, we were just sitting around. We're like, what can we watch? And I was describing True Blood to her because it came up in conversation at one point this week, and I can't remember what it was. I swear I've described True Blood to her because I've seen like a season and a half, like in the middle of it, and I brought it up to her, and she's like, we should watch that. And I'm like, every time I've said the exact words I just said to you, you're like, that's stupid. But this time she's like, we should watch it, and we started it, and she's like, this is just like Twilight.
I'm like, this is like Twilight. This is like Buffy. This is like a whole bunch of things. All
She
in
kept
one.
saying Twilight, and then I like Googled it. I'm like, so the first book in this series, because of course True Blood's based off a book series,
book.
Right.
came out in 2001, and Twilight came out. The first book came out in 2005. So I was like, well, this was 4 books deep by the time the Twilight started. So
Now she's like, this
suck
is
it.
just
It
like
was
Anne
4
Rice.
books.
As soon as I said that, all of a sudden it turned into like, this is just like Buffy. Like a person dies and then someone has like an emotional reaction to it. I'm like, I know that storyline is completely exclusive to Buffy. I can't believe they stole it.
Yeah.
Sarcasm. Bleep, bleep.
I don't think... Maybe I haven't given it a fair shake, but every time I watch that show, I just can't get past their accents. The southern accents just
They-
drive me
Oh
nuts.
my
Right.
god, I know.
I'm like, it's too much.
If it's any consolation, the most
like learn to
attractive
speak
guy
regular English.
and the tallest guy on that show,
Gross.
he does not have a southern accent.
Is it
at
the
all.
blonde dude?
Yeah, Skarsgård.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the main guy. I was like, get out of here.
Bill? No.
No.
Bill is like
No.
as southern as it gets.
Disgusting.
So.
He's kind of uggo.
He's super
Yeah.
annoying and not that cute.
Robin was like, most of these people aren't that attractive.
I was just like, they're just like, I can't. I'm like, I'm not at all attracted to any of the characters. Like, I'm not watching this because I'm like, oh, that guy's so hot. You
It's
know
funny
what
because
I
I
mean?
have
I'm
more
like,
to say about the men on the show than the females. But, like, I think Skarsgård, because he's super tall and he has, like, solid blue eyes, which is creepy, is, like, really striking. And then the guy who plays Sookie's brother, Jason, Like, he has a weird smudge, like...
He has like a pug face.
He has a pug face. It's, like, all, like, too close together. But he has, like, the perfect, like, cut body for, like, a skinny dude who's, like, in good shape. Yeah. And I'm just like, he's tiny. He's, like, so small. But at the same time, I'm like, he gets bigger throughout the show. But he's, like, he has no, like, I don't know. I'm getting way too in depth.
What are we talking about?
He has sex. He has sex with a chick literally every single episode.
Good for him.
Like, completely naked, just boning some
That's
shit.
why he stayed there.
Yep. They're like, we need someone who looks perfect naked.
We
Pick
just
that
need
dude.
you
Just
to have
don't
some
focus on his
chick
face.
just riding you constantly.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
He's like, he's sad.
I'm free.
I swear to God, it's like, he's angry, he's having sex, and he has angry face on. He's sad.
There was one where he was crying.
He starts crying. He's like sad, and he's just letting this chick ride him, and he's like,
"This is the most awkward sex I've ever seen." Like,
I was like, someone else cries during sex. Hooray!
oh my god.
So, yeah. Aside from True Blood, there's not really a whole lot. I've been listening to Asians yell at each other because, like, I've been reading my Jason Schreier book, which is Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and I've talked about that a little bit. It's like 12 different chapters. Each chapter is a different game that got made. I just read through Pillars of Eternity getting made. And it's like the story of Obsidian basically almost going bankrupt and laying off a fuck ton of people and then somehow like getting their shit together and getting it done. And it is just incredible. That whole chapter is like 20 pages long, and it's like, I can't wait to keep reading. The next chapter is Uncharted 4. I'm halfway through that. And it's like the departure of Amy Hennig from Naughty Dog, and then they bring in the guys from Last of Us to take over, and they realize they had to scrap like fucking everything and throw out all this dialogue and change the storyline. It's crazy.
I didn't put it in the news, but Uncharted 4 was in the news this week because the person that worked on Uncharted 4 and was the director of Last of Us left, and he talked about his experience and why he left, and the big reason that he left was because Uncharted 4 had such a tight timeline, and he said that it was the first time he had a project with Naughty Dog that he felt like was not a passion project, and it was just all about the timeline and how they were going to work as fast as possible, and he just felt like he just didn't enjoy that experience, and that's why he left the studio.
So
the book is crazy because him and the guy who left to do Last of Us,
Druckmann?
I can't remember their names. I think that's right, though.
One of them, I think the guy that's still working on Last of Us is Druckmann.
Yeah, and when he didn't exactly depart, but they're like, we're going to do this, and they realize, like, this is great. They know what they're doing, and then they brought them in to replace Amy Hennig when they left, and then there's a really good part where they talk about, like, how IGN ran an article about how they, like, behind the scenes, like, forced her out, and then the CEO of Naughty Dog was, like, super pissed at IGN, like, I can't believe they said this, and I thought it was funny because the guy, Jason Schreier, is a writer for Kotaku, so, of course, he tosses in, like, so IGN ran this super unprofessional article, and then
Kotaku does that shit all the time.
next page on the book is how they forced her out of the company.
Wow.
And I'm just like, so basically, she had something she wanted to do. It wasn't fun. There was a disconnect, and they had all these different ideas for their next game, but they wanted to take some time off, and like, there was all this like animosity because they're like the new kids on the block and the new hot stars, and it's like they make it kind of sound like, oh, they brought us in and they told us we just had to fix this project. And the entire time they're like, we'll find someone that can replace us. We can fade off of it because we need some time off.
Yeah.
But like, as you're reading it, it's like, it kind of sounds like you wanted to take over this project because you didn't like the way they were doing things. Because when they came in, like right when they came in, they scrapped all this different shit. They're like, no, take this out, take this out, take this out. We're rebooting everything. And like, the staff was just like destroyed. Like, we've worked so hard on this game. So they're like, it's a really delicate balancing act. Like telling people that all this work they've done, like, we're not going to use any of it. We're throwing it out, and we're going to have to restart, and we can't change our deadline.
Maybe that's what's created that that issue. You know, like maybe it wasn't just the way that the game was designed or anything. Like maybe that was just the timeline for that game got super scrunched because of all that drama that happened.
Yeah. So I'm just like reading through it, like, this is bizarre. And then I saw that article. I'm like, he left. I'm like, wow, like that must have really broke him because that's a big part of what the story's about in that book is like. They needed the time off because of how hard Last of Us was on them. And, like, the attitude towards the game is, like, it's not going to do well. Like, there's not enough action sequences. Like, people don't want a narrative story. It's too dark and depressing. Like, you need something like Uncharted that's more uplifting, like Indiana Jones. And, like, spoiler alert, the beginning of The Last of Us, before you even see the intro credit screen, like, the main character's daughter gets fucking shot and killed,
Oh, yeah.
and that's his motivation for the whole game.
Most people that play it are like, by the end of like the opening scene, you're like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I felt about Heavy Rain. like the first 5
Yeah.
minutes. You're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
And then it came out, and the critics reviewed it, and there's
Loved
like,
it.
this game is fucking incredible. It's like one of the best narrative experiences we've ever had. So then they brought him in to do Uncharted, and they're just like, there seems to be this massive disconnect with the fact that your game, you know, is light and fun, but he also murders hundreds of people. Like, the gameplay is shooting all these other people that never seems to have an effect on him.
Yeah.
So they tried to like change that. It's a bizarre thing, but the book is really fucking good, and he's a great writer. Like, I've read a few books by
That's awesome.
a few different people who write for websites and been like, these are good, but Jason Schreier's writing is phenomenal. I might not agree with a lot of the stuff he says because I'm not a giant fan of Kotaku, but
Yeah, I don't know. Some
he's
of their
a phenomenal-
editorials. I know that's not necessarily him, but
right. I just
they
like,
make some bold choices over there.
I'm like super impressed with his writing. I can also say like 6 or 7 more times if
Yeah.
you'd like.
I would like that.
Can you just like stop?
Yes, I will stop right now. That's everything for me.
There is something else you guys saw this week, but you saw it live.
My
Oh,
favorite
my
murder.
favorite murder.
It was very good. I enjoyed it. They look like normal people. Robin,
They
you kept
do.
saying
I
that.
love that they're not like, they don't look like these super fancy models or anything, like these actresses that there's no way you would ever feel like you can't like reach or like could reach them or whatever. They just look like normal people, and I really appreciate it.
What is a podcast? I mean, you don't have
That's
to look
true. They
like
don't-
anything on a podcast. You
But-
should see how shitty we look.
I
Right?
know.
I look
mean-
horrible right now.
Robin's pretty hot, but the rest of
Oh,
us,
shut the fuck
a little
up!
bit of a mess.
I look
am-
like a fucking fat piece of shit.
No, you don't. I'm a bucket of yuck right now. I just look like garbage.
A
So,
bucket of yuck.
yes. No,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying,
I think
though.
they're really cute. I mean, it was just they're
There's so
very.
many
You can
people.
tell that they're feminists. It was
Yeah.
like insane.
There were so many people in the audience. I was shocked how big the venue was. And they brought up the house lights at one point to pick someone to read like a hometown murder. And they're like, holy fuck, this room is huge. Because they came out and the lights were down.
Where was it at?
Red Rock.
Oh yeah,
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 it
yeah.
was in one of the,
The
ballrooms.
fifth floor
Yeah,
in the
the
ballroom.
casino.
But they were really good. Then the hometown murder they picked was, how should I say this? It's appropriate. Fucking awful.
Yeah,
they were
shitty as
so
fuck.
bad.
No
And I was
offense,
like,
guys. I mean, if you're listening to this,
if you're
like,
listening, your hometown murder
it just
was
was
horrible.
not well executed.
They should have edited it a little bit more.
I wonder how many times that happens where it's like not great, and they're just like,
I was
Well,
so-
Karen was like, "Get to the point."
yeah, I was like staring at them like, this is so horrible for them. And I'm like, this is cutting room floor shit for sure.
Okay,
can't
well,
wait to hear the commentary.
If you guys didn't know,
Commentary
this
track.
is the Nerd Chills podcast,
Yeah.
where we talk about nerdy things.
We talk shit
and
about other people's
news and
podcasts.
stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
All right,
news time.
let's get to news.
Cool.
What's happening in the world of Microsoft?
So with CJ out, I'll take over. We kind of already referenced it. I believe it's the only article we have for Microsoft this week.
Oh wow!
But New Fable was rumored last week. And as the week went on, it's because I said it, and
was
everyone's
gonna
like,
say-
did you guys hear the most recent Nerd Chills? I think this is happening.
And Adam became a seer or something.
I know. Like, how did you even?
It just
that's-
makes the most sense to bring back one of their most beloved franchises when they need exclusives and they're not doing great. Like, they're selling well enough where they're making profit, but not nearly the amount of money they want. But so that came out, and then it came out that Playground Games is working on a action adventure game. They posted some openings asking for people who've worked on open world RPGs before.
wow.
And they kind of knew that, and then people started connecting the dots. And as the rumors went on, they started contacting them, and it's all over the internet now. It's like all but confirmed because they haven't came out and said it. They have not denied it, but it looks like about 200 people are working on the game right now.
Wow.
They've been working on it for some time, and if you guys are worried, like, but Playground Games makes my Forza Horizon games. Don't worry, that team is still intact, and they're still working on the next Forza
I feel
Horizon.
like even if you're like a diehard Forza fan, you're like, who dat?
Right? It's like
You're like, no, Microsoft makes Forza.
When I
Yeah.
hear Forza, all I think of is Turn 10. I don't even.
Let me put it this way: it's like when you have a studio that works on Killzone, and then they're like, "We have a really good idea for an open world RPG called Horizon Zero Dawn," and it comes out and it's fucking amazing. When I see a studio that knows how to make a really good game,
Make something
like,
else.
make something else, I'm like, I really hope this winds up being really, really good.
Can't hurt.
But it's all but confirmed at this point that Playground is working on the next installment in the Fable franchise, and super, super excited for that. I can't wait for it to come out.
Something that I saw, this is not like a big deal, but another piece of Microsoft news that I saw earlier this week that I didn't put into the news for us was that they're working on a new Elite controller.
Wow.
I saw that. It looks incredible
Oh,
too.
what, is it,
Yeah.
what does it look like?
I haven't seen a picture of it
It
actually.
looks very similar to the other Elite controller with just more customization options.
Yeah.
It
It's
already has a
$150.
whole bunch of customization options. Like
There's just more now. So
So that's kind
they've
of cool.
added 15 buttons.
I think that people will definitely buy it. I still think that it appeals to like their hardcore fans, but Elite controllers have been getting kind of scarce, and it makes sense that that's why. So that would be interesting. I mean, you already have the Duke
What's the
re-released.
the
Duke?
Duke is the original. I knew you were going to say it. The original Xbox.
To me, that's John
It's
Wayne.
a car. No,
Yeah. It launched in America with
that
a
right? I don't know.
giant controller. The
What?
Duke was John Wayne, by the way. Yes, that is
no, I
correct.
mean, is that a car also?
I don't
Dukes
think
of
so.
Hazzard?
The Dukes of Hazzard
Oh.
is a show. Their car is the General Lee.
Ah, the Gen. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
I
named
give
their
up.
car the General Lee.
And it had a Confederate flag on the top.
Oh dear God!
And the horn went dee 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 dee
Oh
dee
my
dee dee.
God! What
That
is this?
But
Why?
this is the Dukes of Hazzard
I was
portion
gonna
of
say
the show.
this is a '70s television
Right.
review show.
The Duke was the original controller for the original Xbox, and the controller was huge because one of the biggest things that Microsoft did before they made the Xbox was ask gamers all the time. They had people going door to door, like with surveys, like what's something you wish was different. They're like,
Controller that requires 3 hands, please.
yeah, they're like, we want bigger controllers. So they made a giant fucking controller. They launched the Xbox in America, and when they launched it in Japan, they're like, well, we've had complaints about the controller.
imagine this, like
And the one they launched in Japan is called the S, and it's smaller, and everyone's like importing those controllers to use on their Xboxes in America. So they're like, we're just going to cancel the Duke. It's more of a nostalgia thing than it's like people actually want it, because it's fat, it's rounded, it's really
Ew.
hard to hold. Yeah, we
thing's
just showed her a
uggo.
picture. Anyone who's played the original Xbox is like, yeah, that thing sucked balls. But it's coming out again in March, and it's going to be like $80, right? $69.99?
$70.
oh
$69.99.
my God.
Who knows why?
Yeah. Someone was like, we need to pop in Halo Master Chief Collection and play original Halo 1 and all get
It's
Duke
big
controllers.
enough. It looks big enough for you to slide the disc into the controller and use that as a mini system.
It's about the size of the handheld things you buy from Walmart at the checkout aisle. That are like, this thing holds like 50 games, and it's like a knockoff
dear
Switch.
God.
But yeah, so that's fun stuff. That's like everything we have for Microsoft news. It was kind of a slow week,
Get your shit together,
but it was one
Microsoft.
giant piece of news that did drop. So there you go.
Pretty awesome.
All
What
right.
are you going to predict next?
I don't know. I'll go
End
back.
times.
The end times.
The end times?
They are upon us. No, I think we're good on that.
All right.
So, but yeah, Charlie, what do we got in the way of Sony news?
I have very little Sony news, which is cool because we have a bunch of Nintendo news and regular news. But
It's true.
my only piece of Sony news that I could find this week is that Sony or PlayStation is launching a line of figurines based on the like original PlayStation characters. They're called Totaku,
Tataku.
and they kind of look similar to amiibos. They do not work on your PlayStation or anything. You're not gonna like put them on your Vita or anything dumb.
Cool.
They do. They look really nice.
But
Yeah,
they
they
do
look
look
really
pretty cool, and I think it's one of those cool things where you get an obscure figure because, like Bloodborne, they don't make very many figures for Bloodborne
Do they like click
or
together?
Rappa.
or-
I don't know. They have like little square bases that almost looks like they would match up, but I don't think they do.
Ah, okay.
They're gonna have Sackboy, Heihachi from Tekken,
Fuck yeah,
Kratos,
Hayashi.
the Hunter from Bloodborne. So it's kind of cool. They're like $10 each. They're only like 4 inches tall, so nothing crazy. So kind of like amiibos, but like I said, they're not gonna do anything. It's just kind of.
I want the Crash Bandicoot one when it comes out.
Interesting
would.
story. I found the article at the same time Charlie did, and I dropped the piece of news into the Sony part of our Google Doc. And it was written by a Nintendo website, and the article was like, Sony steals the idea for Amiibo. And
Oh
Charlie
my
removed the
goodness.
article and replaced it with a more non-biased.
Yeah, I was like really
Version of
from
the article.
Nintendo Wire.
Right.
Like
Wow.
get over yourself, Nintendo.
I dropped that straight into the Sony news. I'm like,
I was like, this is the only article or this is the only news I can find, so I will replace it. Side note, they did also release details and pre-order announcement for a God of War Collector's Edition.
that's right.
There's still rumors that God of War might be coming out in March. I don't know if that'll end up happening that way. I'm not sure if they should go head-to-head with Far Cry, quite frankly, but there are rumors. And yeah, it comes out March 24th. So there are rumors that God of War might be in March, and they did announce a collector's edition. It comes with like a statue of Kratos, some other physical items, and some DLC, and it's $150.
That's a fuck ton of money.
Will he have
Yeah.
nipples?
I'm sure he will.
If I had the little figure, I could tell you whether that has nipples, but I think it will. Hopefully, they won't be controversial nipples.
It would be
as
controversial if
tends
he
to happen.
didn't have nipples.
They'll
Oh,
be
you know
like-
what? He
Pink
actually
and
has
nicely
like
airbrushed.
he has like a little shoulder bandolier that cover the nipples. Makes
Of
it.
course they do.
They're a battle weakness. I mean, that's just where his. If he was a boss, that's what would glow red on him.
Yeah.
Is his nipples.
Nipples.
So, just saying.
So yeah, that's my Sony news. What's going on in the world of Nintendo?
Well, Charlie, in the world of Nintendo, some crazy, crazy shit happened this week. So out of nowhere, Nintendo was like, "Hey guys, we have a big announcement tomorrow,
Ooh,
and
man.
it's going to be focused on like the younger generation or the young at heart."
Like
So-
literally like 2-year-old, maybe cats.
I was like, "Okay, that sounds weird, but let's watch it." And so it's called Nintendo Labo, and if you want to watch the video, it's a nice video put together well, and
It's a
I'll
very
break it
cute
down
video.
for you. It's essentially you can order cardboard slabs that you can fold together, and then you can place your Switch into these slabs, and some of them are very complex using like pulley systems and shit.
Yeah. There's
but
like a piano one that I was like, what?
you put them together, and the thing about the piano one is it's not just a bullshit peripheral. Like there's a game that goes along with it where you set your Switch down and it has your sheet music on it, and then the
You
red
can look like that character from Snoopy.
exactly
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown plays the piano.
No,
No,
there's like
Linus
a little
plays the
kid.
piano.
Linus like sits around
Wait,
that
is
tiny piano.
Is he the dirt dude?
Yes,
Okay.
he's the stinky kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, the
He
red
also plays piano, but no one remembers that about him.
Right.
Because
Oh.
he's so gross.
the red Joy-Con sits down on the side of it, and the sensor actually detects when the cardboard pieces on the keyboard pop up, and you can actually adjust like the pitch and the tune of everything. So it turns into like this little mini keyboard as long as you have like the app that goes with it or the game that goes with it. So they're developing all these different games to go with these things, and they're cool and they're customizable, and you can order a bunch of different stuff for them. They're also expensive as balls. They start at like $69.99 for cardboard.
I just about died when I started seeing the string. Because it's like
The fishing
the
pole
pulley
one?
system.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Or
was like,
the rubber band
the
ones
robot
is crazy.
fighting game
I was
that
like-
has a giant backpack on your back.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. The robot one, the backpack one, costs $79.99.
I can't even.
What's funny about the kits is that people like online there was like the older cynical generation like myself where I'm like that looks pretty fucking dumb. And then the younger generation like I guess there's a specific word for stuff like this
On
that's
fleek?
gotten
Is that?
No, like
is that
a word
old school
for
now?
not slang. I'm talking about like a word for the actual product. Like stuff that you like assemble together. That's like super super popular right now. And Nintendo did their market research, and they're like,
okay.
Yeah.
if people like putting stuff together like this, we'll make stuff that works with the Switch. So they're projecting that it's going to sell a fuck ton. And I'm like, so 2017, they're like, here's the Nintendo Switch. Take this stuff everywhere. Best Zelda ever announced. And then fucking January of 2018, they're like, cardboard. Genius.
I can't. Like,
Yeah,
no, your kids are
I'm
gonna
not
destroy
going
that
to.
shit.
That's the best part, though. Your kids are going to order it, put it together, love it, break it, and ask you for another one.
This is my whole thing. Is the best part for who? My whole thing is like Wii and Wii U. Well, not so much Wii U, but Wii had all those giant pieces of plastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the foam bat and
Yeah.
the golf club and the racing wheel and the other bullshit. And it's like instead of selling you plastic, now we're gonna sell you cardboard.
Something even
Like,
more perishable.
It's fucking ridiculous. I just can't. And then you have parents trying to put shit together when they don't even understand the system that their child is playing.
This is why our planet's resources are
Like,
just disappearing.
They're selling Eskimos ice, and us being the Eskimos are like, more ice, please.
I won't. I can't.
I refuse to buy that.
I will not be buying
No.
that. I don't even. I honestly don't play my Switch a whole lot, so I just feel like, where are you gonna even store that?
No.
Where are you gonna even put giant pieces of cardboard?
Nintendo's gonna start selling storage units for your cardboard.
The memes are golden though.
Oh, they're so fucking
Go
funny.
online.
Really?
Like instantly, there was a Dorkly, whole set of Dorkly memes, and it was so good. I was dying.
Really?
I'll have to show it to you. It was
Okay.
amazing. Anywho,
So, yeah, that was the lead article because that was the big story for Nintendo. Aside from that, I tossed in some Nintendo-related articles. One thing that I really enjoyed seeing since I was working in GameStop when this was all being said, I'm sure Charlie and Robin were both there at the time, when this next generation of consoles were coming out, analysts were predicting the death of the gaming console. And they basically stated that, this is an article written on Ars Technica, by the way. They basically stated like, hey, the gaming console is going to be dead soon, everyone's playing on their cell phones and tablets anyways. No one wants to buy a console anymore. And here in the year of 2017 that just passed, gaming consoles had one of their biggest years in the last decade, crushing basically everything else.
Thanks to the Switch, though, for sure.
Switch had amazing sales. PS4 had amazing sales, and even the Xbox One, that's not doing well, still had amazing sales compared to the waning months of the waning years of the 360.
Oh wow!
Plus, the 2DS and 3DS still sold really, really well.
Really?
Yeah, the 3DS had like their best.
No
I was
way.
like, what is happening? I don't. It's consoles are so accessible. People like easy shit. Like that's why iPhone. That's why people love things that are very simple. They love technology, but they want to be able to use it, and consoles are user friendly.
Yeah, and that rolls into what you just said, which is the next article, which is the Nintendo 3DS, even though they're killing it to replace it officially with the 2DS, had its best month of sales
Or whatever the heck.
in December 2017 since December 2014. And like this is what I really think is happening, and I think Nintendo took the calculated risk of saying, we're going to make the Switch, it's handheld, but we're going to market it as a home console, and people can take it on the go. And they geared the sales towards adults, and they're like, hey guys, like, here's your Zelda that everyone's ever wanted. Here's all this different shit. You can get it for your kids too if you want. Here's the cheaper option of a Nintendo 2DS, which is cheaper than the 3DS was, which is like half the price of a Nintendo Switch. And people are responding, and they're being like, okay, well, this is my console, this is their console. I'm going to get them a cheaper version, and they don't have to play like Pokken Tournament or, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They can play Pokemon. And they can play, fuck you, and they can play Link Between Worlds. And it's just a smaller version of the stuff that they get to play on the Switch.
I think that's a really good point. Yeah. Like having them, like the parents playing the Switch and your kid's going to be like, oh, I want to be like mom or dad or whatever. And then you're like, here's your 2DS, looks the same.
Right. It's like when you buy your kid a really crappy tablet because you're afraid he's going to break it, rather than letting them play with your iPad.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then there's also the gold mine. I mean, that's completely unrelated to like system console sales, but like for Switch, I think that the super smart thing that they can do now, they can re-release all those Wii U games that no one ever played, because they had some good games on Wii U, but people didn't touch them because Wii U wasn't popular enough, or people didn't see that one or two games was worth buying the whole console for, and now they can sell those games again, like Hyrule Warriors and
Hyrule Warriors is coming back out on Nintendo Switch. And
I need Dokapon Kingdom. Make it happen.
What I need, and I
need to never make that game again. Wait, save it for the pod. That can be your main topic source.
Yeah, that can be the game that you want to have remade is Dokapon Kingdom, and you can do an elevator pitch. Is what I figure we can do, is describe what we want from the game getting remade.
I can do that.
Yeah,
like more game, please.
Yeah, more game to.
I think
ruin my
Smash
life.
Brothers is going to get announced really soon for Nintendo Switch. Whether it's going to be a new one or
I think by the end of the year, they're going to have to announce like Pokemon, Smash Bros, and I had another one.
Mario Party.
Yes.
I have to get a Mario Party. They just released Mario Party 100, which is the top-rated 100 mini-games in Mario Party.
For DS.
In Mario Party's history, but they released it for 3DS. Oh. And I'm like, I wish that was on Switch. Like, the most common thing I hear from anyone when something gets announced for 3DS is, why isn't that on Switch?
Yeah.
So
I remember when you and I played like Mario Party for 6 hours, just you and me on the 3DS.
Yeah, it's super fucking fun. But I want it on Switch. Just saying. So that's everything I have for Nintendo news, though. A lot of the articles kind of bled into each other, which means that I don't know. It made it a lot easier on me this week. But Charlie, lead off for us with additional news.
Okay, so bear with me.
We're bearing with you.
Okay.
I'm bearing as in
if I had a bear,
BEAR,
I would hand it to you right now.
Because I'm ready to go into hibernation because my coffee's wearing off.
There are some rumors surrounding the release of Square Enix's next big titles, or I guess I shouldn't say next because it probably will be a while, but surrounding the re-release of Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm so excited. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be like, oh, my life is gone.
You're going to call off of work and school.
Yep. No, school. I will stop going to school and just play this game.
So it's not official,
not
but
really,
there are some rumors about what they're doing, how they're working on these games. So Final Fantasy VII, we know the remake's going to be episodic. They've said that it probably won't make it by the end of this year, but they're still working on the episodic portion of it, and they think it's going to be 3 episodes.
Yeah, 1 for each disc.
Which is crazy to me, multi-disc games.
It's weird, because I know episodic is like a weird thing, but I'm kind of okay with it, because at this point I like games that are a lot shorter. So releasing such a sprawling RPG that everyone loves, that are going to want to go back and play all the way through, it's like, releasing it to me in pieces at this point is okay with me.
I can't wait to see what the art is going to look like the graphics and
Right.
stuff. I'm like,
I want to know how much of a gap is between each episode, though. I really wish they would announce like how long they intend to have between episodes. That
Yeah.
way, it's like if it's 3 weeks or 2 months, you can pace yourself. But if it's
Probably
like
gonna be a couple months. I
if
would
it's like
assume.
6 months between episodes, then I'm like, dude, come on, you're gonna need to get it out faster.
So they did reveal, or there were some like leaked Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Heart screenshots. So it shows like some of the game art, and then they're saying that the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary exhibition is going to have images and
where is that?
games.
When is that?
It's in
When is that?
Tokyo
Uh-oh.
between
When?
January 22nd and February.
Oh,
no.
man.
Wow, it's being held from January 22nd to February 28th. Oh, it's an exhibition, so they're gonna have like
An art gallery
images
almost. Okay, cool.
from the game and
Dang
stuff
it.
like that.
Want an early vacation?
So
Yeah, I do actually.
yeah, I mean they haven't talked about these games for a while. I mean we haven't seen anything about Kingdom Hearts since that trailer dropped.
That was
It feels
long
like
ass
6
time
months
ago.
ago almost.
I feel like the most news I get from Square is like, so here's our new promotion with cup noodles.
Well, for me, it's like we're releasing this adorable collector's product that you have to pre-order 5-6 months in advance.
Right.
I'm like, Jesus.
So yeah,
Still waiting on my stuff to come out. Come
it's all rumors, but hopefully it actually leads somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully it's solid speculation.
I think the next one is yours.
Is the next one mine? Is that a... Yes, it is. So yeah, this is a little bit of a deviation from the video game world. However, Solo, a Star Wars story, which is the Han Solo standalone film coming out in 2018, finally received its official synopsis, and it was released. And it is as follows. Ahem. Board the Millennium Falcon and journey to a galaxy far, far away in Solo, a Star Wars story, an all-new adventure with the most beloved scoundrel in the galaxy. Through a series of
That
daring
scoundrel.
escapades, deep within a dark and dangerous criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian in a journey that will set the course of one of Star Wars saga's most unlikely heroes.
He's just a scruffy-looking nerf herder.
That's what I was thinking.
If I am being 100% honest, I think this movie is going to be terrible. I think it's going to be a ruthless cash grab that destroys the character. And that's my most cynical view of it. I don't think I could get more cynical. But
Maybe if you're looking at it this horribly, when you do see it, you might actually like it.
that might be. But I love Ron Howard as a director. I think he's phenomenal. I made you watch Apollo 13 just because I remembered his name. And I'm like,
I
he's
love Ron
amazing.
Howard.
So he is directing it. He took over for two brothers that were directing the story. And Disney, like they do, did not want to have them basically take creative liberties and take the story in a direction that
well,
they
they
didn't have it
both
written.
didn't agree with each other.
And they both didn't agree with Disney.
Yeah.
They wanted to do completely different things. But Disney has this way of saying, like, oh, no, if you're doing a Star Wars movie, you have to shoehorn these characters in. So I wonder if there was a different idea for a script where he's not meeting Chewbacca and Lando for the first time. But again, it's an origin story, which I didn't really want or need. But for those of you that are excited for it, like, seriously, tweet at me. Tweet at the Adam Diaz and let me know why you think this is going to be great. Like, I liked Episode 8. I didn't think it was the greatest Star Wars movie of all time, like everyone else seemed to do. I was just like, hey, this was okay, but there was a lot of, like, super cheesy shit, so I'm just worried that when I see Star Wars Han Solo, it's going to be the same thing, where it's, like, extra added cheese for the sake of cheese.
I just don't think that like I don't know. I don't see Han Solo. Han Solo is not a very deep character to me, and so I don't. As a person who's not like a huge fan of Star Wars, I don't see the appeal of
The
a
way
Han Solo like origin story.
I like his arc, and I think his character has depth, because he's, like, the rogue with the heart of gold. But at the same time, like, if you're going to show me more of him being, like, a scoundrel in the criminal underworld, if he's just, like, always, like, a super do-gooder, and he's, like, never really trying to do anything bad, it's like, he was a smuggler when they fucking met him in the cantina. And the first movie, he's kind of a self-serving douche
He shot
until the
first.
very end. So it's like, I want to see the darker, not the darker side, 'cause everything doesn't have to go dark, but I don't need to see, like, the soft and warm and cuddly side in this origin story. I want to see a dude who's, like, an asshole, who is a scoundrel, who, like, has some things about him that make him a decent person.
Kind of sounds
That's
like
his redeeming factors.
kind of sounds like Star Lord.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith. I think they're going to take young Han Solo and make him, like, Return of the Jedi Han Solo, where he's already like a good guy across the board.
Probably.
And that's how he's going to wind up being in the origin story, and I'm just going to get super fucking annoyed.
They should do young Lando.
They have young Lando as Donald Glover.
I mean, like, they should do
Like a whole
a
origin
whole
story.
origin story for Lando. I'd watch that.
I don't know enough about him because I only watched the movies and I didn't read the comics until I was an adult
You can
or
make
any
it a
of the
whole
books.
thing. And then
But
you
I
could
don't-
shortly, a little bit tie
I
it
don't
in.
really care about Lando.
Okay.
He was like Han Solo 2 for me. I was like, another scoundrel with the heart of gold. But I love Donald Glover. I'm more interested to see him play that
I think
character.
he's going to be great.
Yeah, I think he's going to be better than the
Gonna
guy
be
who's going to play
amazing.
Han Solo. So, fun stuff. That was my next article. So I think you might have the next one.
Yeah, my next one, I don't know much about this. You'll have to
This is
keep
like
me,
the perfect back and forth. Just
You'll have to
saying.
keep me going. So this is an article. It says a Canadian man accused of mass Twitch spamming faces criminal charges.
What does that mean?
Essentially, I'll let Charlie tell you.
So this guy flooded 1,000 Twitch channels with
What?
150,000 spam messages within like 2 months. It was February and March. And they're all like racial slurs and anti-Semitic slurs.
How does he not get banned?
Oh, I'm sure he did, and he just formed a new
Kept
account
doing-
and jumped back on.
How do they know it's the same person?
IP. They probably trace his
Okay.
So it says he used a service called Chat Surge, which allows you to flood, destroy, or simply demolish any Twitch.tv chat room. That's a tutorial video that tells you that.
Oh dear.
So it, like, teaches people how to do this.
It's because internet and gaming culture has this level of toxicity that people think is acceptable.
I can't stand that, man.
And it makes me so happy in 2018 to see the comeuppance for these fucking douchebags. It's like, there was no reason to go and do that. He probably isn't, an actual racist. He probably just thinks it's funny to fuck with people. And now he's in super big trouble for it.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's because he's in Canada. And in Canada, you have freedom of speech like you do here. But the difference is that if you say something horribly negative and inflammatory that is incredibly insulting or racist, you can be held accountable for it. Whereas here, you just say it and, I don't know, get elected fucking president or whatever we do in America.
This chatbot allowed. I don't even know why things like this exist. It's like bump stocks.
Right.
This chatbot allowed him to send up to 700 messages a minute.
What?
Yeah, that's why after 2 months he was like, I'm bored now.
Right.
Everyone knows I hate everyone.
And he got caught, and now he's going to get in trouble for it, and fuck him.
But they said so far he has, hold on, wait. This makes me laugh. Employees at Twitch had previously spent nearly 200 hours trying to track him down. That's like the whole job there.
He was their white whale.
All the people, right?
Aww.
He's the colossal squid.
That's him.
They have yet to. They've said he's yet to enter a defense or a plea, but he's facing criminal charges. So
He's probably sitting around
They
like,
got him.
Everyone knows I did it, but should I say I did it?
200 hours. Hopefully, he finds a way to get his chatbot into the court proceedings.
That's so fucking funny.
I just found it funny. They had clips or excerpts of what he said, and a bunch of it was super racist. And then there was one where he's like, "I want to see real games, not just big jugs," or something probably to some female streamer.
Right.
And I'm like, first of all, that's weird for someone to say. I mean,
Right.
that's abnormal. Second of all, big jugs, why'd you censor yourself there when you're like,
Right. You're
God
saying
hates
Titties.
racial slurs, but you don't want to say anything besides jugs.
I know.
You're so Canadian.
Obviously, that's showing his age. He's 20, so
Okay. Yeah, that
20
makes
and
sense.
going to jail probably
Good.
for trolling. They should do that more often.
I'm
get the
so happy
trolls.
that
They
trolls
need to
are-
make some laws, man.
We won't
for
make those
trolling.
laws here because everyone thinks freedom of speech means that you can say whatever you want and get away with it.
The laws related to gaming are going to be completely not what people really care about or what really affects people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Loot
really?
boxes.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be loot box addiction before. I don't know. I just think that just like everything else,
Right.
they're not going to legislate the things that we really care about.
We'll see. But I'm happy this is happening up in Canada, and hopefully it sets a precedent down here for if you act like a piece of shit on the internet, there are consequences for your actions.
That would be nice.
So,
I mean, other than you actually getting someone injured or something. I think the next article is still mine. No.
yeah, this one's mine.
Oh, that's yours. Cool.
I was super happy to see this. This
Do the next
came
two.
through as an alert on my ESPN app because I do watch
That's
sports.
cool.
And the headline reads as follows. Overwatch League, which did premiere recently, outperforms Thursday Night Football live stream on opening day. So there was more
I love
viewers that
that.
tuned in to watch Overwatch on its opening day than tuned in to watch Thursday Night Football. And despite people saying the NFL's ratings are down because of this or that or the other, the NFL ratings aren't growing.
people.
They're kind of down, and they're still doing incredibly fucking well. And the fact that the Overwatch League was able to outperform it is a really good sign because they had 10 million unique viewers across
Holy
all
crap.
platforms. That is substantial. That's higher than a Doctor Who premiere or season finale.
That's nuts.
I need to fucking get me some Overwatch swag.
Yeah, they have their new store open for the Overwatch League. There's a ton of shit on there. I mean, they're putting a ton of production value into it, and people showed up and they're responding. And this article came from ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, that now they've had an esports podcast that's okay to listen to. That's not
It's okay.
super.
To listen to.
It's okay. It's not great, but it's now super dedicated to Overwatch and reviewing that stuff. And I'm very excited to see this going mainstream, especially in America.
Imagine being an ESPN announcer and the higher ups are like, you need to learn how to play this game and how to talk about it.
I think most of them have probably gone out of the way to learn how to talk about it at this point.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What up, homie?
Charlie.
Yes.
You can put your head down or
How-
hand down, girl.
Okay.
It's just no.
How
cut
are
that.
we gonna get the brain injuries?
Figure out a way.
Do we punch them afterwards?
One guy decided
Can we
to go,
put something in their
Just donkey punch
headset?
them really hard?
One guy decided to go on a rant and said a bunch of anti-gay slurs.
Oh.
I don't have that article
Oh,
in here.
QKC or
I don't know his name actually. That might be right, but he's been banned for the entire first stage.
it's like
Shit.
XQC maybe.
Yeah, because I don't know if he was winning or losing, but he decided to taunt his opponent with a bunch of anti-gay slurs. You can all imagine
Yeah.
what. And they're just like, yeah, you can't do that. people
this
get
is
in
a
trouble for
professional
that.
sport now.
Yeah, he
Get your
got
shit
suspended
straight.
for the entire.
So maybe they'll get
Segment.
their head trauma because instead of doing that, they'll just smash their face on the keyboard when they're not doing well.
Yeah.
So, or then line up and take a
Like,
running launch.
How are we
at
going to
a
injure
wall
these
or
people?
something.
You can't just make $1 million on ESPN and not get brain injuries.
Who knows? But I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So
Here's hoping.
it's done really well to start out with. So that's super cool.
It's not a good way to start out your
Career.
Overwatch career. Yeah,
Yeah, you're that guy immediately. So for the casual fan, though, the guy who likes to play Overwatch, who's not going to play professionally, the Overwatch map Blizzard World has been given a release date. They announced this at BlizzCon, and we sat 100 feet away, or I don't know, 1,000 feet away from the stage.
it wasn't that far.
We didn't have great seats, but we didn't have bad seats. But anyways, they announced this Blizzard World, which is an amalgamation, a confluence of
It's-
all their universes,
yeah.
except for Overwatch.
I think that's really
Right.
cool.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. I just
Because
want to run
you
through the
are
map.
Overwatch.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that sounds right. Cool.
You're
Yeah.
bringing the Overwatch part.
January 23rd is your release date, and as we record this, I believe it's January 21st.
I forgot to also ask
It's January 21st.
when they're going to get Carrie Underwood to sing the Thursday night Overwatch League
Waiting
song.
all day for Overwatch night.
Oh my
Can't wait.
goodness.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yep.
She's got to dress up as Diva.
She
She's
has
gonna have
to
to
have her
Or
cosplay
Mercy.
for sure.
No,
Yeah,
because
because she's
She's got to
blonde.
be Mercy.
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood, dress up as Mercy. You'll
Yeah.
get so many fans.
I bet you'll get so much money too. So they back up a dump truck of dollar bills and just dump it on her property. Maybe she'll just show up and sing.
Yeah. We should try it.
yes.
Give it a shot.
We'll get the Patreon
Just
together.
kidding.
I'll-
100 bajillion pennies.
Yeah, but I'm really excited to see this Overwatch map. You keep asking me about it and asking when it comes out, so I believe Tuesday. Tuesday is the day. If you guys are listening to this
It's out. Go
on
play
the
it.
Monday it comes out, it's out tomorrow.
That's cool. I thought it was the way you guys were talking. I thought it was going to be years away. But yeah, I think that's a cool concept. I feel like I'll be a little lost because I haven't played a ton, other than Diablo, a ton of Blizzard games.
Right.
But it'd be really cool to have a Hearthstone
Yeah.
thing.
It's nice that there's so much fan service going into
Wow.
it because
I-
they're really
I love
good about acknowledging their fans.
The whole
so.
StarCraft area of the map looks
That
so
would be
cool.
There's
so
siege tanks
neat.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Someone asked at a developer when they were talking about how they created the map, is there a way that you can incorporate a way for the siege tank to actually fire in the
Yeah,
game?
actually take hold
And
of
they're
certain
we didn't
objects.
talk about that.
But that's a
But
really
that's a
good
really
idea.
good idea.
Yeah, so
That's
I'm
great. How
Yeah.
would they not talk about that?
I don't know.
How do you have a tank and you're like,
They're
oh,
probably
well,
just
we never thought about
here's
it.
this section and this section and this section and decorate all this stuff. And the guy's like, does that shoot? And they're like, holy fuck, that's a good idea.
yeah.
So it was really cool to be at BlizzCon and see people
Yeah.
tossing out ideas about the ways to change things.
I feel like Blizzard legitimately listens to their fans and incorporates a lot of stuff that they want to see.
They're a
so.
company that's been around for a long time, and the only missteps they've really made is this game came out and the server's not doing well, or like this game came out and we patched something and now one of the classes is underpowered or overpowered. It's not anything where it's like, we released this game and there's microtransactions that break the game, so fuck everyone. So they've done really well. But yeah, that's our Blizzard news. I was really excited to get like a couple Blizzard articles in there.
Yeah.
So cool.
Overwatch.
Our next article is, sorry, I'm looking at that box over there.
The one with the weird lady face?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
a
what
box
is
that
it?
contains like a $5 microphone arm so that Robin can stream whenever she wants.
Oh.
It works really well, and it's actually kind of cheap, but you just have a
Robot
place to
robot
mount it to.
arm. Well, why is the chick so hot?
I don't know.
Is she hot on the box?
She just looks very dolled up. I thought it was like a hair styler.
Oh,
She's
no.
supposed to be like like a pop star singing into a microphone,
Oh.
being held up by the.
Oh, hot pop stars have to be hot.
The next article we have is about Activision. They've said that their publishing CEO, Eric Hirschberg, is leaving. He's leaving. He's been with them for 8 years.
It's a long time in the video game industry.
Long time. That's like 10 Call of Duty. No, it's a really long
Fucking
time.
hilarious.
They had a whole statement, but to kind of summarize, he had like his most successful year with them last year because Call of Duty World War II and Destiny 2 became the top 2 selling games of last year. I didn't even realize that.
I didn't even think that was.
Spoilers.
Based on revenue, so not like necessarily popularity,
Okay,
but the
cool.
money they made. Call of Duty is also now the top-selling video game franchise for 9 consecutive years in North America.
Oh my goodness.
That is nuts.
It's because everyone wants to go and
It's all those
shoot up
people that
everything.
walk into a store and are like, I only buy 2 games a year, bro. Or I
Call
only
of
buy
Duty.
1 game a year, bro. It's always Call of Duty.
or Madden.
Madden, when the two games a year is like Call of Duty and Madden. The
Yeah.
1 game a year is usually Call of Duty.
I mean, this is a article by, or a statement by Activision, so it doesn't say like what he's going to work on, but he obviously was like super talented. I'd be really interested to see what else he plans to do. Whether you like Activision or not, it's still crazy how successful they've been.
Agreed.
If I forget how much they own. Like, I forget they own Blizzard.
Yeah. Or no, does
Yep.
Blizzard own Activision?
They merged. It's Activision Blizzard.
Oh.
But they're both owned by Vivendi, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's cool. I'm sure they'll still be successful.
And he'll probably be successful wherever he goes. He'll be
Yeah.
like, loot boxes.
Oh my goodness.
Right. They also said, I don't know anything about this, but in one of the articles I read, they also said they're bringing back Call of Duty XP, which I wish CJ was here a little bit because I don't know anything
I don't know
that
about.
is,
anything
yeah.
about that.
So we'll have to ask him.
Damn
Sorry,
you,
guys, we don't
CJ!
play Call of Duty.
If you're a Call of Duty fan,
we apologize.
You know that now, and you
Yeah.
probably know what it means. Maybe
Right.
Monty. Shout out to Monty. He
yeah.
can
Yeah.
let us know on the Facebook.
Yeah, let us know on Facebook
Page.
or Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why is this significant?
us up.
He knows. He used to do that stuff.
Cool.
The Twitters or the Facebooks.
No, she means
Oh.
Call of Duty.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to like have a clan and stuff.
Oh
Right on.
wow.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Right on. So moving into the next article, we debated about actually putting this on the agenda because we don't really care that much about it. However, people are talking a lot about it, so I decided to toss this on there.
What is it?
It's an article from GameSpot called Metal Gear Survive requires a constant internet connection and has microtransactions. Microtransactions
Don't
are
they
just
all though?
the way it's going, so I'm not shocked about that.
So
I'm
does
not
your
like-
Xbox.
Right? It's like, how dare you? And the online, the constant internet connection, it's like, yeah, like every Battleground game or like cooperative only game that I've played in a long time.
Oh, because it's an
Has-
online game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, like Overwatch.
it's almost like Fortnite, where you're like
Yeah.
defending yourselves against like a zombie horde. It's almost like a constant horde mode.
Yeah, all
And the
those games
beta.
do.
Yeah.
The beta is out right now, and all this feedback that I've gotten from people who are playing it are like, it's good, but at the same time, it's getting trashed on the internet. Like, the internet fucking hates it, and I understand everyone hates Konami.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
because
say
they're
that's
Konami.
it's just popular to hate what they're doing with Metal Gear because of Kojima.
Yeah, and if it wasn't called Metal Gear, and it was called something else, I think people would be over the moon for this fucking game.
Like
I think
Dead
they'd be
by
super-
Fortnite,
Yeah,
unknown player Royale.
if it wasn't somehow tied to the Metal Gear universe in whatever abstract bullshit way it is tied to it, and it was just its own IP, I think they would be
Dead Survival.
they would be in a different light, even though it's made by Konami. And if it was made by a different company and it was the exact same game,
It'd be like all the others.
I think people would be really fucking excited
Yeah.
for it. So it's really weird to see this like really nasty turn of events. It's not surprising whatsoever because it is Konami. But still, I'm just like, okay, why don't you just let the game speak for itself? And if you just hate a company just to hate it, Like, that's
Go
fine,
play EA games. No,
but yeah, right. Just being like, this game is fucking garbage. I hate it. Did you play it? No, I hate Konami. It's like, well, for people who don't hate Konami, then maybe you shouldn't just, blindly toss out a bunch of bullshit on the internet. But I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it's silly. So many games require the internet now.
Yeah.
Like Plants vs. Zombies,
Yep.
Destiny.
Overwatch, for
And I
sure.
think at first when you said that, I forgot that it was multiplayer. So I was like, yeah, single player games that require internet are dumb because if you have server issues, then you can't play at all. Like Hitman. When Hitman
Right.
came out, everyone was like, why? But if it's multiplayer, like, it makes perfect sense that it requires the internet at least, if not like Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus. So I don't get what the big deal is. As long as they don't release to like super broken servers, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
hate
the
on
biggest
Konami.
worry.
They're an easy target, just like EA is. But you know what? There's a lot of people working on that game that had nothing to do with any of that shit, and the fact that you're shitting all over their game just makes you an asshole.
Yep.
So, fun stuff.
It's like, if you like the Metal Gear series at all, you're going to have to accept the fact that they have control of it now. You're never going to have another Kojima-based Metal Gear, and they may still make good games, so why don't you try it out? It's like Batman without Rocksteady. It's like, that game's not garbage. It might not be what you're used to, but it's not terrible. Anywho, unless you want to see the series canceled, then go ahead and do what you do.
Yeah, if that's
Do
what you're
your
going
do
for,
your stuff,
then
internet.
yeah, go ahead and Mass Effect the game, fans.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
No, please, guys,
Yeah.
don't do that. I hate that.
That
Don't
should have
do
been my
that.
bold prediction.
That Mass Effect will come
no.
back, or that
That
Metal Gear will
Metal
die.
Gear
will become
the
Mass
next Mass
Effect.
Effect.
Oh God, hopefully not.
Okay, so our next article is about Harry Potter,
Woo woo.
and you and I. So we were talking earlier about this.
Yeah.
I was not talking about that Niantic game. This is a different game.
what?
Yes. So in this game, you design your own character, and then you're a wizard in training, and you do school events, and you go to classes, and you battle other students and form rivalries and friendships and blah blah blah. And it's a completely different game, and it's not like location based, but you create your own character, and it takes place in the game when Nymphadora, Tonks, and Bill. I never knew that was her first name. So Tonks,
really?
Yeah, Tonks and Bill Weasley were students. So yeah, you completely customize your character, and you learn about you learn magic skills and go to class, and
That's cool.
you have the opportunity to choose your own pet.
what?
So yeah, it's
Scabbers.
totally cool, and then you open new areas by unlocking spells and stuff.
That's
so,
cool. Wait, what
it's
system
not.
is this
Oh, it's a mobile game.
Oh.
Mobile. It's not the Niantic game. Totally separate. They haven't really released a lot of information about that Niantic game for a while, but I'm really excited because it sounds kind of like the Harry Potter games, the old Harry Potter games for PC.
Yeah.
Which those games looked
Oh
like
my God,
garbage,
dude,
but I loved
love those
them.
games. My favorite part was doing the spells where you had to do the shapes of
Yeah.
the stuff. Oh, yeah.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, like sometimes I think about that. Like, I wish I could play it. I'm sure they'd be like trash. I'd be like, why did I like this? But I'm really excited.
It's always fun to go back and
I'm
ruin stuff for
excited.
your childhood.
Yeah.
Dude, those Harry Potter games, though, back in the day were totally my jam.
Dude,
like,
it's been
oh,
like 10
they're so
years,
good.
and I'm still like, sell me everything Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Harry Potter sweater right now.
It's totally true. It's so funny. We're all huge fucking nerds right now.
Yeah.
So
oh, we're all wearing nerdy
Charlie's
shirts?
wearing a Cuphead shirt with a Harry Potter
love
hoodie
my Cuphead
pullover
shirt.
type thing on it. Robin's wearing an Xbox Fan Fest to show off that she got in and I didn't still.
Sorry.
And I'm wearing a nice black button up that Charlie got me for Christmas that has the
Yay.
Nerd Chills logo on it, and I fucking love this shirt. So I'm really worried about washing it,
Oh, it'll be fine.
but
It'll be okay.
fun stuff. Next article we have, and I'm really happy this finally came
Maybe
out.
we should add that segment. What we're wearing. No.
What we're wearing, we'll toss it in there. I don't want to do that because most of the time, since we all record separately, sometimes
PJs.
Actually, we haven't done it in a long time.
was
What
gonna
I'm
say-
saying is, I haven't not worn pants in a while for an
the fuck?
episode.
Yeah,
we
I
used to all
know.
record at home. I'm like,
Yeah, we're almost
whatever,
always
dude. We're not
together.
even video chatting. You don't know what I have on.
It'll be a test for CJ. We'll be like, in our next segment,
I
what are you
think
wearing?
This would have
Right.
been a very good episode to have, like, had recorded the video for it, because we're all, like,
Nerdy as balls.
Yeah.
and nicely dressed. Like,
We'll get that set up in the year of 2018, hopefully at some point
I
soon.
don't feel nicely dressed.
oh, shut the fuck up.
Just,
You're always
I'm just
nicely
decked out.
dressed.
Well, now that we've told Charlie to shut the fuck up. The next article on additional news is NPD, the people in charge of tracking the sales numbers for pretty much everything.
What's NPD stand for?
I have no idea. I've read it before and I don't remember right now. It stands for NPD. Thank you for derailing this article. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the top 10 best-selling games of 2017.
Oh,
So-
I had a spoiler alert. Probably Call of Duty and Destiny, apparently.
They're in there somewhere. Get out of here. I'm reading them right now.
Okay.
This is my list.
Don't
So
spoil.
number
I
10,
have no boundaries.
number 10, Mario Kart 8.
Ooh.
That does not include digital sales.
That game is freaking hard to find. Like,
Really?
now that Switches are back in stock, that's like the thing no one can find.
And
Dang.
people buy them digitally
Ridiculous.
a lot, and it's not including those because Nintendo's dumb. Super Mario Odyssey was number 9. Also digital sales not included, so that probably would have been much higher. Number 8 was Star Wars Battlefront 2, despite all the shit that it got. It still
Wow.
got number 8.
Nice.
PC digital sales were not included for that one. Number 7, which was number 1 for a long time until November hit, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands.
That game is good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Number 6, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh my god, shut
Still?
up.
4 years after it being
Are you
released.
serious?
Number
Still?
6 in the year of 2017. Dead serious. Number 5, Legend
Because
of
everyone
Zelda.
who bought it sold it and bought it again.
That's exactly what happens. Number 5, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Again, digital sales not included. Number 4, Madden NFL 18.
Weird.
Number 3, Destiny 2, and the PC digital sales weren't included there. Number 2, NBA 2K18.
Wow.
And number 1, Call of Duty World War II. Best-selling game of
Things never
2017.
change.
So that's fun stuff. I love lists. I know a lot of people don't like them, but
List.
that was fun. So good stuff. I'm shocked that Zelda wasn't a little bit higher, but then with digital sales not being included,
I mean,
pretty much everyone I know in my office has it digitally. I'm like
Yeah.
the only person I know, I think
Really?
aside from you, that has it on card.
why? I sold mine.
It's I don't know. There's a bunch of like techie people who like walk
I just-
across the street and go to Fry's and buy a giant SD card. So.
Nintendo doesn't have a good backup system for that, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's my whole thing.
You can
I'm
re-download it now.
I'm cool for all digital, but it's like, it's not as good as other backups.
No, I can't stand the fact that if I wanted to change my 3DS, I have to.
Data transfer.
Yeah, and
Or
you only get a
call
certain
them.
amount
Yeah.
in your lifetime. Like
They have made it so for the Switch at least that you can re-download licenses that you've purchased before.
Can you add your account onto other Switches, though?
I'm pretty sure you have to deactivate the account on a previous Switch, like call them and tell them like, hey, the Switch is
So you
lost
still
or
have to call
destroyed.
them.
Yeah. So it's
That's
not easy, but it's not like it's lost forever if you
Yeah,
lose the
no, it's
game.
not lost forever before. It was just always, like for Wii U, for example, which I know this is a console ago, but for Wii U, I had a gamer tag, and I really wanted to carry it over to my new Wii U, but I never transferred or anything because the first Wii U I had it on, I didn't own, so I had to call them in order to just port my gamer tag. Like I tried to sign it in, and it was like it's already on another
already registered to
console,
another console.
or like it had already at one point been added to that console, so I couldn't add it to a second console. It was just like, this is so dumb.
that's so stupid.
If they made it easy to use, I'd be like, yeah, do them all digital, and it makes perfect sense because those chips are so small.
Right.
Your kids are gonna lose them. But yeah, I
Yeah.
can't sign off on it quite yet.
Yeah.
And well, like the PS Vita is even worse though, because you only have one account per PS Vita.
Yeah, I tried to let
Yeah.
her log into her account and play one of my games, and it's like, you have to completely factory reset this PS
Yeah.
Vita. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
No.
that's worse.
what?
The Vita is definitely dumb, especially because they're proprietary memory cards. So at least they did micro SD, so you can use whatever you find, you
Right.
know, whatever you have lying around.
Yeah.
So that's nice, at least.
Yeah,
That's
so
why they probably don't make Vitas anymore.
it's just crazy to think there's so many people out there still going digital and their sales aren't being counted. And like, if Nintendo really wants to get their fucking stock prices to be driven up even further,
Show those.
show people like, hey, yeah, we're crushing the sales charts right now with a game that we re-released. It's even higher than number 10. It's like number 8, or Mario or Zelda being higher than they were.
You would think they'd be tracking that stuff anyways because they have so many digital games.
Right.
Like they have so much.
Everything in eShop.
Yeah, eShop.
I wonder if you
games
can
now.
track eShop specific games and not. I don't know. I'm going to have to look up some more stuff on that. But
Dig
anyways,
deep.
moving on to this next article, I'm actually really excited about this. So, one of the main reasons why I was thinking there's going to be another Fable is because Platinum Games has been working on an RPG, and I was thinking that they're going to be the ones that got the the Fable franchise. And it turns out it's not them, and it's not confirmed completely yet that it's definitely Playground. However, Platinum Games did release footage of its RPG. It's going to be called Grand Blue Fantasy. There's airships. It looks gorgeous. There's all these different towns in it.
Airships.
It
Like
looks
Bravely Default?
like
blimps?
HD Skies of Arcadia, without like everything taking place in the sky. But there also is a ton of airships, so it's like essentially like blimps, but like
Is it based off an anime?
Steampunk?
Because that
It
sounds
reminds
really
me
familiar.
of Bravely Default.
Bravely Default. Yeah,
remember
that's
there
true.
was an airship portion to Bravely Default?
Yeah. And then the combat looks really fucking
I
fun.
want to play that game again.
I know.
And there's like dodging and combos, and you can also string together like chain spells with like multiple characters. So I'm actually really, really fucking excited for this game. So check it out. It's called Grand Blue Fantasy. Because like every fantasy game has to have the word fantasy in it at
There are
some point.
combos, but
Fantasy
is
life.
there combo breakers?
Combo breaker.
That's
we
your-
will find
That sounds
out.
like Bane.
I was going to say, that's your Bane
I
impression.
can't say it anymore without it being Bane. So that's just what Oral Knots did to me after I watched that video. They've ruined that word for me forever. Next article, jumping back into the world of what we're watching. We saw Castlevania launch on Netflix, and everyone that
Season
I
two?
know really
Season
liked
two?
it. Then after it came out, like the first day, they're like, we're renewing it for season 2, and then we haven't heard anything. So people have been tweeting at the people in charge,
Constantly.
and they're like, when the fuck is this coming out? And Warren Ellis, who is associated with this in a way that I'm not exactly sure, did tweet on January 19th and said, people keep asking, so I guess word didn't get around. We're coming back this summer for 8 episodes.
Did it say July 8th?
Yay!
I think they said July. I'm not sure what the exact date was. Yeah, they did say July. And it's going to be 8 episodes, so
Yay.
twice as long as the first season. I am super fucking excited because this was really good. I really liked this season.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, I was like, this
think
is
I
what I
watched
wanted.
it like 4 times already.
should
It's
do-
short. It's fun to watch, and you're just like, give me more.
You've walked into the office where I just have it on one screen playing, and I'm like doing my homework on the other screen.
We should
It's
do a
just so
whole
good.
like rewatch and then watch the new stuff.
I agree.
Well, yeah, that's what my sister and I are
Viewing
gonna do for
party.
Handmaid's Tale.
Oh shit, we need to watch
It's
that.
an
too.
awkward viewing party, but I'd go. It'd just be fun because I haven't
so
seen it yet.
You have to bring your
Good.
like
Fireball and get drunk watching
yeah.
it. Episode 21 all over again, dear God. So cool. And that's the last article that I have for additional news. Charlie, what else we got?
So just because I know you guys are really interested in Dr. Disrespect news, 2 months after he decided to take a break from streaming based on his announcement, he's announced that he will be back on February 5th. So
Wonder
if
why.
you're still interested in watching Dr. Disrespect, he'll be playing. He was playing games like PlayerUnknown, which is still incredibly popular.
Yeah.
So he'll be back. I feel like 2 months isn't a real long break, but maybe it was enough.
It's not long enough to get your marriage back
on track.
Yeah.
Maybe he's taking the steps to get everything moving forward, like getting into couples therapy or whatever you're going to have to do when you go through something like that. And
Yeah.
he's able to get like work back involved in his life while he's handling the rest. I mean, that's me just being optimistic for a stranger who is named Dr. Disrespect and turned out to be kind of an asshole in real life.
Yeah.
So
I think the only question I have is like how his real life will affect his like persona, because he said that that's just like an act, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like it's when you've been when
it
you've
becomes
done
you though.
did
when
your
you-
life start imitating your art, and are you going to keep pretending to be that guy you accidentally were?
And will people want to watch you when they feel like it might not all be a show?
Right.
Right.
And he'll probably have to deal with like people saying shit to him, and I don't know.
He's going to get trolled so fucking hard in that channel.
He's gonna have to hear about it constantly.
His moderators are going to banhammer people so fucking
Yeah.
fast.
Imagine like though how many of those people that talk shit to him are just hypocrites that would do the same thing to their girlfriend
Or have done it. But
Yeah.
they have the anonymity of the internet because they're
yeah,
not
exactly.
important people
You can be
That's so
shitty on the
shitty.
internet all the time.
who just want to talk shit to someone
Yeah.
who's like internet famous. So
So we'll see. Wish him all the best. Hope it turns out
Meh.
okay.
Nah, I'm good.
I do not care at all about Dr. Disrespect's
No.
Twitch channel or his streamers.
No.
But I do hope his relationship and his family are okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that sucks. And
Well,
It's
I mean,
hard being the innocent bystander.
look, no one's perfect.
right,
Nobody's nerfect.
I hate you so much.
Wait, what is
That's
that?
why pencils have erasers. It's a bumper sticker.
Oh,
where you
really?
switch out the P in the end of nobody's perfect to be Pobody's nerfect. Because it's a mistake.
Yeah,
Oh,
I get it.
That-
that's so cute.
Really, you've never seen this before?
No.
You're like a brand new person to the world sometimes. You're like Keanu Reeves after he got pulled out of the Matrix. You're be shown bumper stickers for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for anybody that gets trolled constantly. Like, I
Right.
wouldn't want. I mean, it's shitty that he did that, and maybe he should always have to hear about it, but probably from his wife, not from the whole internet.
That's the thing is he's the
Yeah.
one who decided. I mean, as far as we know,
yeah.
he might have been given an ultimatum, but he did decide to go and say that to everyone on the internet and let everyone in the world
Yeah.
know that that's going on in his life. When he could have just said, "I'm having family problems. I'm taking some time off."
Yeah.
So it's like, if he's going to get trolled because of it, and he's chosen to get trolled, and it just does make him a bigger person than the people who are going to fucking troll him.
Let the trolling begin.
And that's his punishment a little bit for what happened. So
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Wow.
hate you so much. for that.
My last article
It's about
finally-
drowning pool.
Right. That would be sad because I'm pretty sure the lead singer died a while back.
Oh no!
That would be
He's
sad.
back to life. No.
His body hit the floor.
I just saw this article pop up and I found it amazing. So, PUBG just banned 100,000 cheaters in a single wave.
That's amazing.
As much shit as people are going to talk about Xbox One's version being choppier and not as great as the PC version, it is also much better to play because it's so hard to hack a game on an Xbox console, whereas on PC, it's like not just common, but constant
Yeah.
to have a game where someone's not just kind of cheating, but
full-on
blatantly
cheating.
cheating. There's an IGN Let's Play where they're playing, they get killed, and they show a guy standing in the middle of the map who's invulnerable, shooting through hills and one-shotting everyone and just taking everyone down. And their debate was like, why didn't he just do that to start the game, since he was just going to blatantly cheat, since everyone gets to watch you after you die?
Yeah.
So I'm so happy they're banning this many people. Like, I hope they permanently ban their IP from ever
That
playing
would
did.
be good.
all of their
Oh,
games.
nice.
That's
So,
so nice.
I guess this has become their highest priority for the PC version. And they reviewed 10 million players. And
Oh
it
my
is
goodness.
a permaban.
Good.
I don't know how they're banning them, if it's like an account or IP, but yeah, it's a permanent ban.
So let me just do quick math here. 10 million accounts reviewed, right?
Yep.
100,000 people were banned, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just cross out some zeros here. So 1% of the population of people whose accounts they reviewed were banned, which means for a game that's a battlegrounds, like battle royale game, that you're supposed to have 100 people in the map starting out, that means once a game, at least one person to this point has been cheating in that game
That's
and
crazy.
was banned.
That's
So
crazy.
the
Yeah,
odds
1%
were that
doesn't sound like very much, but
the odds were every single time you played that game, one of those people in the game was absolutely cheating.
What?
And you might have played a clean game here and there, and you might have played a game with like 5 to fucking 10 people cheating, and it was just cheaters versus cheaters.
your game just got a little bit more fair.
Yeah. So that's insane.
Yeah. That's
Good
our
stuff.
slew of
Insane
news. Holy
and
crap.
There was so much additional news this
So
week.
much news.
Oh,
Finally main topic.
I know. We're at an hour 30.
We're right around there. So main topic's not going to be
Holy
too long,
No, yeah.
but let's just go over the game that we would most like to see revived.
Fable, done. No.
Right?
Dokapon Kingdom done.
And exactly what you'd like to see in that. So, Charlie?
Okay. Well, I actually had a few games that I thought would be interesting. I don't have a case for all of them, I will say, but I have a couple that I feel pretty passionately about. First of all, I feel like this is kind of a dead giveaway, but Kingdoms of Amalur. I would love for someone to buy that game and make something more of it. It was a great RPG. I was just talking about it the other day because I've been playing Horizon, and I'm like, I really should get back to and play Kingdoms again because I miss Chakrams.
Right.
And the person I was talking to,
Chakrams
they're
are...
weapons that they're like boomerang, but they're like disc shaped. They're like hollow circular discs. Yeah, kind of like that.
Like this little handle. I'm drawing a very crude picture of a chakram.
And then that
And you hold it like that. It's
Ah.
like the thing that Illidan holds in World of Warcraft.
Okay.
someone was talking to me. I was talking to someone about it, and they were saying like they did that. I guess you can get chakrams in Secret of Mana, and I was like, maybe I'll check it out. Just because I love that weapon, and they never I never see them in any games. That was the first game I've ever seen them in.
Skies of Arcadia has a chick with chakrams, but they're full circles. They're
Yeah.
not like open at the top. And she's fucking awesome.
Like
and she
Xena?
can throw them and they return to her.
Yeah, like Xena. He actually asked me. He was like, "When you threw them, did you make scream or Xena noises?" I was like, "No,
That's funny.
What are Xena noises?
I don't know."
It's like a
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I
nailed
got
it. You're welcome, everyone's ears.
So yeah, I would love to see them revise that series. I thought it was perfect, so I don't know what else I'd want them to add to it.
I would like them to not bankrupt the state of Rhode Island this time.
Yes,
That's about it.
I'd like to keep Kurt Schilling out of it, but everything else can stay. I would even be cool with like an HD remake. I would be cool with any progress.
The game is like one
So
single player
good.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
you just want to keep playing, and it's huge, It has the like similar art style and the
Yeah.
super in-depth talent tree.
still-
What
the-
books were they?
I don't
They
know.
made an entire series for the game written by R.A. Salvatore.
Yeah.
And if the game did well, they were going to make an MMORPG based off of
yeah,
it,
and
but
that
it
died.
didn't make enough money back.
Yeah, it did well, but it didn't make enough money.
What books? I want to know what books they. I love art.
Like it's going to be called like Kingdoms of Amalur. Da, 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 da.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I never looked into the books.
I don't know if they did books or if they just did like a bunch of
A
background
storyline.
story on it.
Yeah, because they had DLC from like the get go. I still need to go back.
But
and
they
play
had
the
R.A.
DLC.
Salvatore
Okay.
write their story. That was back in the day when everyone started out the game where like you're dead and you just woke up. Because that happened for like every fucking game I played for like a year. Every RPG was like, you're a guy who just came back to life and we don't know why.
I'm flashing back to when you were singing Evanescence earlier.
Bring me back. to
Wake
life.
me up.
So yeah, that's my first game. My second game is not so much for me, but just for fans of the series and like the outcry. Actually, I have two that relate to that. The outcry from people that just desperately want to see the series revised. Fight Night Champion or Fight Night.
Because
Fight Night in
basically
general.
the Fight Night team works on the UFC games now.
which I've heard like not great things about the new UFC that's on the way, so that sucks. But yeah, everyone still wants to play. Like even though UFC is a more popular sport, boxing is a more accessible sport as far as gameplay goes. I think
Right, because you don't have to learn all the different
ground
techniques
moves
and figure out what they're all
and
called.
know people, and I don't know. I think it's more pick up and play, and
Yeah.
people want that. Like people still play Wii Sports because it has boxing and golf and just basic stuff.
Right.
So I think that would be cool. And then NCAA, I know that'll never.
That was
going
to make my list, yeah.
Yeah.
If they can figure out a way where athletes can make money off their own likenesses without being declared a
Yeah.
professional athlete for it, instead of just giving all the money to the fucking universities they play for, which is fucking baffling they still do it in,
Yeah.
like, college football in real life.
Why couldn't they do like? Would there be legality to like NCAA, but like NBA Jam style, where they like did it like circa 2000 and then paid those people like the hot players from.
They could
And
probably
then
do, like,
they
a
could pay
retro-style game, but
their likenesses.
how popular would it be to be
Yeah.
like, hey,
I think
these-
people would just play it to have any chance at NCAA.
Yeah.
Like people liked the college experience.
the laws are going to have to change for, like,
yeah.
kids that are student athletes actually being able to receive
Student
compensation
athletes.
for, I mean, their time. They already get scholarships, most of them. So
Yeah.
But they
that's kind of how
should
it's
get-
viewed.
Enough money to buy food.
When
and pay for-
when a school gets millions of dollars of bonuses for making to a bowl game, where like the people who run the bowl game are like, here's $5 million for your school. Don't give any to the kids on the team who got you here.
And
Like
then
they
what if the
can't
kids
even
get
accept
injured?
anything.
If they accept a meal from someone,
Yeah, they
it's
can
like,
be
oh, you're ineligible for the rest of your
taking
fucking
a-
life.
so
yeah,
fucked up.
It's nuts. Anyways, I think that'd be cool. At some point, they might get to it. I don't know. I feel like it has died a little bit. So,
Yeah, I agree.
my last game that I would love to see revived is Fatal Frame.
Ooh,
Nice.
Really, really good series, PS2 series, super scary. Two Asian girls investigating scary
Taking pictures in a
places.
ghost house.
Exactly. So I think that they could totally bring that back.
That
and
would
it would
be cool.
fucking
Oh my goodness,
epic.
with VR.
Oh god,
That would be super fucking
I don't know
cool.
about that, but yeah, no, I think that'd
I
be.
just imagine Liz like, if I don't look at it, it can't see.
Yes.
You can get your Labo camera, play it on Switch.
What's a Labo camera?
Labo.
Labo.
Labo. Oh,
Yeah,
Labo.
Labo.
your cardboard camera.
That'd be amazing. One piece of news that we didn't put in because it wasn't really like news. Nintendo was like, we don't give a fuck about VR. Like, we just want to remind everyone we don't give a fuck about VR or 4K. We're going to keep doing what we're doing and just making games in 1080p.
They make money off of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no Nintendo VR. I guess I'll have to not worry about it at all.
I mean, I think that it would. I understand why a lot of people aren't getting into VR, but it just like corners the market for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't do VR.
There's not a killer app for it yet where everyone's like, you have to play this. And as soon
Yeah.
as that happens, the other systems are going to be like, damn it, we should have fucking invested the money into it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't think cardboard's the wave of the future, though. I have to say.
No.
If it is, that's so fucking... Like, Nintendo just doesn't give a fuck. Like, VR, 4K, they're like, 1080p, cardboard. What are you gonna fucking do about it? So funny.
So yeah, those are my games that I would love to see.
Cool.
I like Fatal Frame. That's such a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I just forgot about that series
Yeah.
entirely. I would love to see that come back.
Yeah.
Robin, show us what you got.
Let's see you dance.
I think Dokapon Kingdom would have to be one. Just because, like,
find new ways to hate your friends.
Right. Find new ways to
And
hate the AI.
Unite the
We-
friends against the
We
AI.
never got past
So
that
hard.
first world.
It
I
reminds.
think-
Sorry, go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
They did remake that game. It's called Animal Crossing Festival.
That
whatever.
game is fucking bullshit because it plays out with friends just playing a normal game, and then the last round of that game, one person,
Amiibo Festival.
one person is just handed $1 million fucking dollars just randomly doing what
They're
they normally
called
do,
bells.
and then you're like, oh, it turns out that person won the game, and it's like. I have been fucked so many times in that game. It should have came with a free
It's
dinner.
like you sold
So
your couch
annoyed.
for this much money, and it's a ridiculous amount of money.
You
or-
caught a 1 ounce rainbow trout, received 400,000 bells.
Yep.
God,
That game
game
is a
sucks.
cruel mistress.
Dokapon Kingdom was just so fun.
It really is.
It's like I've never played a game where the AI was so brutal.
Easy mode is like the very hard mode for
I
every other
know.
game.
Dark
I've
Souls
ever played.
players, go play Dokapon.
Yeah,
Don't-
if you,
Yeah.
if you think fucking Dark Souls is
If
hard,
you want to play
go
Mario
be Dokapon
Party
Kingdom.
on Dark Souls, like
Terms.
yeah, it's like
Holy fuck!
oh my goodness,
That's the best way to describe that. It really is.
But like, oh, I love all the outfits that you can do and the hair you can change and just
It has a storyline too, which
yeah,
is
it
really
has a
fun.
storyline, and then
I loved when we were like we were at home, like when we all lived together, we would play it, and we like bought that and a bunch of Wii remotes, and we were like, why did we do?
Why do we
this?
do this to ourselves? Fuck this game.
it was so I more purr puns, more meowterific puns, please.
It's so funny.
Oh my goodness, it was so funny. It was just such a cute game, and like sometimes you get bored with Mario Kart where it's like holding your hand the whole time, and Dokapon Kingdom's just like makes you rage.
It does, man. I've never had a
And-
Wii game make me that pissed off in my life.
What other game? I liked Dark Cloud. I would be okay with another Dark Cloud
I could
game.
I
see,
say that
I
all
could
the
see
time.
someone
Yeah.
out there right now making a new Dark Cloud.
Or what was that one
Yeah.
you like? Blue
Dragon,
Dragon? No.
Blaze Blue, Blue.
No, it's the RPG for Xbox. I thought that was one thing you liked. Maybe that is Blue Dragon, and maybe
No.
I'm
Blue
mixing it
Dragon.
up with Dark Cloud. Never mind.
No,
Blue Bunny?
yeah,
Never mind. Never
Blue
mind.
Bunny, the
Blue
ice
Bunny,
cream.
the ice cream.
Make me more ice cream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dokapon Kingdom still pre-owned for $50.
Fuck.
Fuck you, Nintendo.
Right?
That's not Nintendo's
Jesus.
fault.
I blame Nintendo.
All right.
They released it on their
someone
console.
rip
True.
it and put it on a cartridge so we can use it on the Switch.
There you go.
I don't know if you can do that. I don't think it works that way. But I don't know what other
And
games.
it's no. Do you still have that game? It's nowhere.
I don't. I'm pretty sure I traded it in.
Yeah, traded
I'm
it or
pretty
sold
sure
it.
pissed me off beyond belief.
Yep.
I was like, I'm not playing you anymore, and then I traded it in to buy something that wasn't as mean to me.
Yeah. Oh, that game was so good. And yeah, Dark Cloud. I just love for Dark Cloud. The reason why I'd want another game is because I loved the weapon building system. Like you would collect weapons and then you trade in your weapons or not trade in, but like you'd create whole brand new weapons by like mashing two together,
Combining them.
Yeah, and it was like weapon chemistry. You know, I don't know. I like those.
That
types
sounds
of
really
things.
cool.
Literally love the idea of you like smashing two
You
things
just like,
together.
Oh, it's one new
magically
thing. Hooray.
Yeah, there was like a sword in the first one called like Seventh Heaven or something, and it was like impossible to make. Man, I don't know.
What is that gun? I think is it Borderlands where they have the gun that shoots trash or something? Like the junk.
the
gun?
I think
the
that's
junk
Fallout
jet
4.
is in
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fallout.
That's what
Yeah.
it would be like,
Yeah, it'd be Fallout. New Fallout, please.
right? Oh
New
yeah, that's right.
Fallout.
Yeah, Andy requested more
Make that
Fallout.
happen.
There are
Yeah,
definitely,
I would
games
be
that I
okay with
consider.
another mini Fallout, kind of like New Vegas, where it's just like a mini game between the big ones. Like if they made just a small, short one in the interim before they released like the new big
Fallout
Fallout 5. Yeah, because I haven't even got through the DLC for Fallout 4 yet. Like it's so
Oh, wow.
long. Jesus.
You play that a lot too, but you spend
Yeah.
a lot of time making your town.
I build a lot and I do all the quests that I can before going to the main storylines. That's why
Right.
it's taking me forever. But
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I forgot about Fantasy Life too, but they're making that for mobile.
Yep.
Really?
I love
I
Fantasy
would like
Life.
another DS game though.
yeah.
I would too. I'd rather have that be on DS than mobile because it'll kill my phone. Because I play that game so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
I'll have to get one of those.
Like I have to save my phone
Power
battery
boner.
for.
I have to save my boner for the next Fantasy Life.
You have to save your phone battery for Clash Royale.
I'll drop Clash Royale so fast for Fantasy Life too.
What
You'll
about
lose your
you? What do
rank.
you want?
Well, it's funny because when we started this segment, I was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't picked anything yet," and I thought of 4, in fact, while you guys were talking, because it was like bringing some stuff back. So, one series I'd like to see remastered and then rebooted is Legacy of Kain.
What is that?
Oh yeah.
Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver are in the same universe. It's from this like dark world where you're playing either one of the first vampires ever, or you're playing this guy that is collecting souls that used to work for Kain. Raziel, I think his name was. That's what the Soul Reaver series is. They were super popular back in like the Dreamcast era, and Legacy of Kain was different. It had different mechanics, and as a vampire, you could upgrade your abilities. Instead of biting people, you could literally just drain the fucking blood from them once you were powered up from like 10 feet away, and it was just like this stream of blood that shot into
Oh
your
my
guy.
gosh. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, God. Like this. No, but I'd really like to see those remastered and have the collection of those games put back onto like current consoles, and then if that sells really well, just redo it, have a new like action adventure game where you got to play both of the characters and they trade off rather than like splitting the franchises up between games. I think that'd be sweet. I would really like to see. It's funny because I wrote down initials because I didn't want to give them away for you guys, and I'm trying to remember what the fuck they were.
Oh god.
I would love to see Warcraft. I know you have World of Warcraft that's never gonna fucking end, and everyone keeps asking for Warcraft 4 to come out.
Yeah.
Rather than do that, I would like to see it just be like they've already messed around with alternate realities and time travel. I would like there to just be somehow canonically, it's like there's this other world that exists where everything's been reset, and then just start it as another traditional real-time strategy game and just do it as well as you could and release that, because I think it would sell like fucking hotcakes, and I'd actually like to play it. LM. What did LM stand for?
It's still a mystery.
Ah, well, son of a bitch, I'm not going to remember. Maybe I will by the end of it.
Yeah.
PS, I remember what PS stands for. It's something that definitely needs to be put on the Nintendo Switch, and that stands for Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah.
needs to be a new Pokemon Snap
Yes.
out.
Oh yeah.
You can take that with you
That would
everywhere.
be cool.
This, if it was on the Switch, it's like the perfect console.
It
to
is.
And
do
you're
it
gonna
on.
have to get Robin a Switch for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's going to happen when the new Pokemon comes out. LM. What the hell was LM?
You shouldn't have been
League.
so cryptic,
Right? League Masters. Lady Man.
lady man. I came up with a few others while we were talking.
Okay, I'm going to stare at LM.
All right. So my first one is a game that was on Wii, and then they later re-released it for Vita. It's called Little King's Story, and it's a strategy game where you're like a king rebuilding your kingdom, and you have to like go build things in your town to recruit people, and then you send them into little houses and make them a recruit, and then you like drag them out with you into the field, and so they're like a little trail of people behind you, and you just send them off like a Kirby Mass Attack kind of.
Okay.
And you just send them all off to do different things, and that game is so fun. I'd love to see more of it somehow. And then I thought about Blood Rain.
Oh, yeah, the vampire one.
Yeah,
That's like classic.
I know. Like, what happened to that series? It just died. I guess it got like cheesy.
They
but
made,
I mean,
didn't they make a movie too? A Blood
oh, they
Rain
sure
movie?
did, and it's
Yeah.
awful. It was who was that guy? Uwe Boll, like or Uwe Boll is like a horror director, but he's terrible. Like all his
No, I've
movies
never-
are terrible. I remember Andy complaining about that game or that movie because it like flashbacks to itself.
That's hilarious.
And then Baldur's Gate. Your Legacy of Kain made me think of Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate is something that Obsidian did.
Everyone
That was like
loves it.
Pillars of Eternity is like their spiritual successor.
Oh, okay.
Because Baldur's Gate, I think, technically operates in the rules of Dungeons and Dragons, and because
Mm-hmm.
when they made their new like Diablo style looking action game, they're like, well, we don't have the D&D license. How can we make this feel as D&D as possible?
Yeah.
So that's like the spiritual successor to it. They have Pillars of
cool.
Eternity 2 out now too.
Yeah.
So
They have another one too, right? Maybe that's the second one, Pillars of Earth. Maybe
don't
it's
know.
a different game. I don't know.
I know they did a Kickstarter for the second one, just like they did for the first one.
Is
and
it Luigi's Mansion?
it is Luigi's Mansion. You are the
Wow.
best person in the world.
Oh my
I would not have
God.
gotten that. LM, Luigi's Mansion. Get a new one on the Switch right away. Or even the 3DS. I didn't even care. They did another one on the Switch. Or they did the sequel on the 3DS.
I think they should just do GameCube classic games on the Switch. Like, can we have that digital library for GameCube?
Yeah, what's
That'd
taking
be
so long
super
on
cool.
that Nintendo? Come on.
Why? Wait.
But-
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Dang, you
did
Rain
guys-
Man that shit.
Right? Did you guys ever play Onimusha on PS2?
Yeah.
I did not play it.
I did play a little bit of it.
Was, for me, it was super fun because it's like Dynasty Warriors kind of,
Yeah.
and they should make a new one of those.
Or same vein, 99 Nights.
Never played it.
Really? It's a hack, and it's just like Dynasty Warriors, just like hacking away.
Yeah.
There's another one I just thought of too. Ninja Gaiden. We haven't had a Ninja Gaiden in a really
Ninja
long
Gaiden,
time.
I feel, has been like usurped from like Dark Souls / Bloodborne, because it's that really hard action game that people used to like crave, and I thought that's where they used to get it before it started to fade out.
Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, that game is dumb. Like, the storyline is dumb. I don't even know what the
Straight up.
storyline is. Like, I remember playing it, but I liked it. But you play, like, several different characters from the series. You, like, they all have different chapters. It's kind of like one of those weird movies where, like, 6 different storylines. They all merge
They all
at some point.
converge.
But I just thought it was super fun. At some point, there's spacemen that you battle, dinosaurs. It's just like Dynasty Warriors where you're like, what the heck am I fighting? Who even cares? I'm just going to kill everything, and it's
That's
fun.
so funny.
I liked Onimusha because it was like going through history, like real history, except you get to fight like, it's like revisionist history. Like you're going and you're fighting everything with like demon powers and stuff, but
Yeah.
you're still going through the events that actually happened. It's
like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
yeah, except it's not lame.
Okay, the movie is
Wow.
terrible. The book is amazing. Just saying.
And then let's just get all the Valve games out of the way, like
Right.
Left 4 Dead,
New Portal,
Half-Life,
please.
Left 4
Portal.
Dead.
Yeah, that'll never happen, but you know.
My
One can
sister
dream.
would
Fortress.
love a new Left 4 Dead.
I
She'd
would love that.
Lee
Left
would
4
know.
Dead.
Lee out there. He doesn't. He listens sometimes. I won't say that.
It's been a decade.
You should tag Lee in it this coming episode.
I should. He actually recommended.
Like, I
or
talked
not-
about you like 3 times.
Right. He didn't recommend. He suggested. He's like, "Have you seen the new trailer for Tomb Raider?" And I said,
I liked it.
"No, I haven't seen the new trailer because the new one just came out." And I was like, "I didn't play the new game though, and I know it's supposed to look super similar to it,
Rise
but
of
I can't
Tomb
do
Raider.
it's supposed to mirror the Tomb Raider reboot.
Oh, you mean like
really well. Like the new Tomb Raider movie looks just like the Tomb Raider game that came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Where it was like 1 year exclusivity
Young
on
lady.
Xbox. Yeah. And
Young
he's like,
Tomb
it
Raider.
looks really good, and the game was amazing too. And I'm like, didn't play the game, so I couldn't compare it to the movie trailer.
I didn't play the games either.
really like the actress who's taking over as Laura Croft.
Yeah.
Lara, whatever her name is.
Lara.
But there you go, Lee. I tossed that out there by saying
think
I don't
it's
know anything
Lara.
about it, and I haven't watched it. So there you go.
That's kind of like, oh, fuck you, Lee.
That's like I don't know enough to actually talk on this topic, but I respect that you requested we talk about it.
Yeah, those games are supposed to be really good. I've never gotten into them. I think I own Rise of Tomb Raider somewhere, but
I definitely own the
I'm a
first
bad
one,
person.
just the Tomb Raider.
yeah, I own
So.
both those games.
Right on. Maybe
What
we
am I
should do
doing
that
with my
one
life?
of these days.
Like
Eh.
a Let's Play on Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Eh.
Meh. Meh.
We should have, you know what we should have done? We should have done when Injustice 2 came out, we should have done a Let's Play for Injustice
And we should have done
2.
Let's Play for Tekken because we blow through fighting
Yeah,
games like
we
nobody's
totally played
business.
the whole thing.
You know, what we could do
Next
that for
fighting game.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters.
Huh?
Fine. Fuck you. God.
We'll see. We'll see if I get a copy and what platform it's on and all that jazz.
Yeah, it'll be fun though. But yeah, this has been a really long episode.
It
Yeah,
has
we're
been
so sorry. Everyone
editing.
listening.
I'm editing this super late at night so we can get it out to you guys Monday morning. So we do
Burning the
love,
midnight oil.
yeah, we do love all of you. So I think that's about all we got.
Oh,
So we'll go ahead.
go on things and let us know what your game franchises you want to see
Yeah.
rebooted are, or
Absolutely.
revised, revisited.
Email us or
Yeah,
tweet at us.
we're gonna go over that. Go ahead.
Let me do the rigmarole.
Yeah,
Okay.
do the thing.
If you guys want to go ahead and contact us, you can reach us on Twitter at nerd_chills. You can also email us at nerdchills@nerdchills.net. If you want to go ahead and check out our Patreon, you can go ahead and look at the tiers that we have set up. We did revamp them a little bit so you get early access and some other fun stuff. If you kick a little money towards the show, which does help us do plenty of stuff and have better production value, especially for stuff like Let's Plays, which we are really interested in getting into. If you want to talk to me specifically, you can email me at mailum@nerdchills.net. Mailum is spelled Maylum. You can tweet at me at the Adam Diaz on the Twitters. And then if you want to check us out on Facebook, it's facebook.com/nerdchillspodcast. You can also go to nerdchills.net and check out some articles that we posted about 7 months ago. It hasn't been updated in forever. However, we do put the episodes up there like once every 4 weeks. I think I just update in in batches. So fun stuff. That's about it for the show stuff and for my credentials. Charlie, if the fine folks wanted to find you, where could they do that?
You can email me at charlie at nerdchills.net, and then you can tweet at me. It's Charlie with an EY _ NC is in Nerd Chills. And then don't forget about CJ and all his Sacred Infinity stuff.
He's Sacred Infinity on just about everything.
Yep.
So you can check CJ out that way. Robin, where can they find you?
At the Robin Grace at pretty much everything.
Right on.
Yep.
You have an Etsy shop?
I'm just gonna go online and type
Robin's
in
Quiet Corner.
Robin's Quiet Corner.
Yeah.
go online and type in at Robin Grace at everything.
Right.
At the Robin Grace.
It'll just bring up everything for you.
Yeah.
Cool. You can also check out Robin and I. We started a separate podcast. It's a ghost story podcast called Scary-ish. That posts every Tuesday, and if you're interested in that, we retweet that when it comes out so you can see it on our Twitters as well. We've gotten really good feedback for that. We feel like a lot of you guys carried over, and we appreciate the support because it's just a passion project that's really fun to do. And it's kind of creepy to research really scary stuff and be like, I don't want to sleep in the dark now. So that's...
I don't want to open my eyes.
Yep. Fun stuff. That's about everything we got for you guys, though. It only took us about 2 hours to get you all of the news,
Holy
so
crap.
We'll try and keep it shorter next week. This is what happens when CJ isn't here. It just keeps
We
going,
just like
apparently.
to talk.
Yeah.
So,
And it's fun.
good to know.
Not that you're not fun. I'm just...
Wow.
So, Robin, since you're
Cut that.
tripping all over your tongue, why don't you go ahead and sign us out?
take a chill pill, and we'll see you next week. All right. You'll hear us next week. Fuck my life.
Bye.